Welcome back to the CRL podcast, sponsored by Northeast Texas Storm Chasers.
Northeast Texas Storm Chasers is a small group made up of 5 chasers throughout the Northeast Texas region. Cover any and all severe weather events that affect their area, no matter if they are out in the field or behind a phone on the couch. You can guarantee that this group keep you and your family safe and prepared for all modes of severe weather. For more info and or questions, please visit their Facebook page, Northeast Texas Storm Chasers, and be sure to click that like button. Thank you for supporting our podcast.
I'm your host, Ethan, as always, alongside my man, Three Flashes.
Yes, sir.
And alongside Quack, who never talks, but it's okay. He's always here. Today we have our first repeat guest.
None other than
the dude who pays for this, the dude who tells us that we're trash. I'm kidding. The dude that's done a lot for this podcast, basically letting us do this and not telling us to go fuck off. So
one that makes it happen.
Hell yeah.
The one, the only
Mr. Party Matt. Oh,
CRL Party.
CRL Party. I thought I was about to say Party Master. What's up, Party?
Old
Sorry, I got
name.
you back, Ethan.
It's the old name there, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Still getting used to it. Not really bad. I mean, I just looked at it and I said, I saw Party Master, so I'm like, okay.
Well, technically, Party Master is his Twitch name that I used tonight to watch when we were streaming tonight for the Xfinity race. So yeah.
Yeah, watch my grand fuck up right at the end.
That's all right. That's all right. Still not as bad as my pit road skills.
You have the best pit races. What are you talking about, Flash?
Yeah, I'm a legend.
You are.
Mm.
So, Party.
Yes, sir.
We had you on the first episode of this podcast. What the fuck have you been up to since then?
Oh, winning races, saving gas.
Yeah, fuck off. Of course, you had to say saving gas like an asshole, but other than that,
yeah.
what have you been doing?
Saving more gas.
Saving more gas. Listening to one of the greatest podcasts
Hey, boing, boing, boing.
each and every week.
That's us, right?
That is
Wait,
y'all.
which one are you talking?
Yeah.
Oh, this one? Oh, yeah. All right, cool.
This one
I
right
don't know
here.
how this is the best. I mean, I've been told it's the best podcast people listen to. So,
One of the best.
thank you, Sean,
Well,
by the way.
It's like ever since this podcast got started, everybody else is just popping up podcasts all of a sudden.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm like, so, I mean, I'm not, throwing shade. Obviously, I love Smith. I love everybody that's, though, I have a lot of respect for everybody who's doing the podcast. Dirty does a
Absolutely.
wrestling podcast. But I'm like, literally, the week that we started doing this podcast, I got told about another, different, like, other people be like, oh yeah, we want to do a podcast now. I'm like, what the hell?
Well,
So you might be
see,
onto something with it, huh?
Exactly, and I look at it like this. And it's not in a negative way. It just means we laid the groundwork for these other people to do the NASCAR Heat Community podcast
And just
and their
imagine
league podcast.
Mm-hmm.
if I never was joking around the day on the chat one day, be like, "Oh, it'd be nice if we had a fucking podcast." I like to run out for like an hour, like for 2 hours a night, and just talk shit. Like, and if you would have said yes, this would never have
that
happened.
once a year where your brain has a good idea, and and it did at that point. So
And it
worked
was
out.
really early in the year, so that means the rest of my year is gonna be crap.
Not pretty
I'm
much,
gonna be-
but that's all right.
I'm gonna be half brain the rest of the year.
You're probably right. You're probably right about that because when I was thinking about it, I was wanting the podcast, but I wanted, I didn't want to do it myself. I didn't know how to do it. Don't have the YouTube, this, that, and other. And when you brought it up, I was like, hey, I'm surprised. I got somebody that wants to do it. Now I can throw what I want to do out there and let somebody host it and go from there. So.
And what I've told you before, like what I've really enjoyed about like, yeah, this like it's like you let us know like what you want done, but you also give me personally like basically free roam to basically do whatever I really want to have my twist on stuff too. Like
Which is a lot with your
Yeah.
personality, Ethan.
Yeah.
That's like, you know,
Yeah, I know.
unleashing a horse to run through
Yeah.
a fine china factory or something. You know, it's just like and expect it not to break anything, which you've done a good job of. I have to say, we've had a great time doing this. I mean, and this obviously we didn't plan this, but to have
We
the
did.
first repeat guest should be Party, and you know. Well, we might have planned the last couple weeks. I'm saying since we started this, we weren't planning to have Party as our first repeat guest.
Are you sure
but
about that? Because
it
me and
makes
Party
sense.
talked literally the night after the first podcast about championship week we're having
Okay, well, how
Party on
about this?
the night
I
before.
wasn't planning that. I don't know. I'm not behind the scenes. I just sit here and
This
you
is
know,
why you just talk shit with me for 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, you kind of ruined it there because I was saying we didn't plan this, but apparently you did.
Oh, me and Party have had this plan for how long? Probably like a few months at this point now.
Yep. Yep, and you know, and I was hoping to be on here with
Chevy.
with my teammate Chevy, but you know, complications
Turbines!
arose.
As they call it, turbines.
Yeah,
It was more than turbines, but we'll
look,
say turbines.
look, we'll be real for once, and some feelings got hurt, some stuff happened on the servers, and it's out of our control, and you know, it happens in a race, and this close to the championship. And
Yeah, and with his chase on the line as well.
yes,
Well, and I talked about it afterward. All that. I mean, like, it's a common thread you see with any league as you get down racing for the title and everything. Emotions are stronger, and it takes a lot less to get someone to want to just quit or like just feel like they're just done with everything. I mean, it's like that with every league. And I hate to see it, but it's gonna happen no matter what when you come down to the final couple races. Like I said again, emotions just get higher, and any little thing,
Yeah.
you'll feel like it's targeted towards you, but and it's not necessarily. It is. It's not. It's just people. We as a community, we want to win. Anyone in this community, they want to win the race. They want to win the championship, and it overflows with emotion sometimes, and you get ahead of yourself thinking that the rest of the league's not wanting you to do that. And I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
that's nothing wrong with that. It's normal emotions that happen at this point in a season. I just
Yeah. Which sucks because I mean
Yeah.
we all love Chevy. Chevy's been
Yeah.
a huge factor of this league. He does a lot. He has been doing a lot of stuff every single week with us. So that's always been fun to not only to know Chevy, but also to talk with him and learn from him. So I know he taught Party how to run the wheel, and now everybody's regretting because Party's just kind
the
of
party's turned up the heat.
Yeah.
Yes, you have.
I don't like it though. It's fine.
You might not,
making you
but
nervous,
I'm
I
loving
know.
it.
No, I like it. I told you I love the competition.
And again, what did we say in the broadcast for Party? He is the only driver of our Final Four in all three series. We'll talk about it more coming up, but that is going to be chasing the title, the one that's locked in for all three of them, the only one, and that going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And to me, that's that's its own kind of special title to me. That's bragging rights. I first one to do it in CRL for one. Last time being able to do it in Trucks and Xfinity, obviously. But like Heathen's got him and Cowboys got his. We lapped the whole field at road courses. I have my sweep at Bristol. Well, I'm the only one in all three series to run in the Final Four. So No, it speaks that and in the competition we have at CRL, it just speaks volumes for being able to put yourself and be in that spot.
Absolutely. I
for
mean,
sure.
and the competition is it's so close. I mean, this whole week it came down to whether it was a points battle or you having to win to lock yourself in, like happened tonight with obviously with Nixium, which everyone that watched the broadcast would have saw that. But we'll talk about that too as
There
we do
for a
when we recap
while.
our week.
Party.
But yeah, it
We sorry to cut you off, Flash, but
no,
during
go
the
ahead.
regular season party, we all there's you said that because I was actually doing good, and you know people were like you thought that I was gonna be like the guy to beat, because when I came in I was winning pretty much everything at will, and to see you now doing that pretty much is fucking awesome.
Oh,
So
I agree. And the funny thing is, see, you're not the first one that I've seen do that.
yeah, he finessed it a couple years ago, whatever.
Not and Vanessa wasn't the first one.
Oh, he wasn't.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Well, I tell you what, because I know you want to. I know how you are. I've listened to your podcast. You don't like questions being answered before you ask the question. So go ahead and ask me the first question that you ask everybody else.
What was the first game you played? NASCAR game.
First NASCAR game I played.
That got you into
League racing.
yeah, that one.
Pole position.
Okay.
No, sorry, I ain't gonna
No.
date you that far.
The first
Close.
game, first NASCAR game I ever played was NASCAR '99. For PlayStation 1. It's the first game system that I ever had as a child, and I had to share it with my brother. Um, the game that got me into league racing was Inside Line, and I actually started Championship Racing League on that game, and we ran. It was full schedule, 100% race, custom setups. There was, if I can remember correctly, I think there was 12 or 13 people in that league, and I ran it totally different than I run this one. But we ran a full series, and I got beat out on the championship race in that league. Finished second by people end up lagging out. Um, Tried to start up another season, but it didn't work out. And then I just quit racing from inside line to heat 2 or 3. Like I quit online racing. I have heat and all that, and I tried to play, and I always like getting into the seasons and doing 100% races on just season mode and stuff like that, just to mess around. And heat 2 or 3, I think it was 3. I hooked up one of my buddies that I raced with on inside line, and he's like, man, well, I told him, I said, man, I kind of want to start the league back up. So, like, look, I'm in a league. Let me see if I can get you in this league, and we haven't been saying it, but we'll say it tonight. The league was WSRL. Got me in that league, and I completely. I'm sure y'all are all heard of ring rust, right?
I've never heard of Ring Rust.
Either.
Uh,
You've
I
never
have,
heard of
I
ring
have,
rust?
I've heard,
No, I've
heard,
not.
yeah, I've heard the name.
Okay, so if you do something for a while, you get good at it. Then you quit doing it, and then you go back to doing it. You're not as good as once you once were.
Yep.
So getting back in the league racing, I couldn't really hang. I didn't feel like I was fast enough. I felt like I was everything that I used to do. I couldn't do anymore. And there was a guy in there. His name was Legit. That was dominating all races. Every race he ran, you couldn't catch him. You couldn't pass him.
Sounds pretty legit to me.
He was. He was legit.
Yeah.
And Man, anytime he jumped in the lobby, it's kind of like our trucks with Laguns now. It's oh great, legit there, or Laguns. And I was like, man, what do I got to do to beat this guy? And get back in my rhythm. And the more I raced, the more I started picking everything back up and getting better and being able to hold them lines that I used to hold and take it 3 wide and not wreck somebody. So so yeah, it's actually to your point earlier, Heathen, it was legit that came in on a Logitech G920 that dominated all the races he ran, and he would damn near lap the field in every track we went to. And so he's the reason that I started practicing again and trying to get better, and just fast forward another game, 2 games. We're here. You came along last season in WSRL. You pretty much put a legit, and you made me strive even harder to keep light a fire into my ass pretty much.
Well, I also know that I was also talking a lot of shit. About I was like, well, it wasn't really directed at you necessarily. It was at other people because a lot of people, that were in there were talking a lot of shit, and I was like, I'm not having it. Part of getting to know me, that I'm not one for getting like shit talked on. Like
Even
if
you
someone,
talk shit. Come on now.
no, I'm talking about getting like someone talking shit about me.
Well,
I can talk shit. I back my shit up when I talk shit though, and we all know
most
this.
of the time.
Most time I talk. Whenever I talk shit, I most time can back my stuff up. 9 times out of 10, I can back my stuff up. And then when that situation happened, it was like, you know, apparently, you know, I wasn't good enough when I was kicking his ass every single week. I'm like, okay, well, now I'll just, actually try and practice and actually do adjustments. Probably know this. When we first started, I didn't change at all. Because you asked me several times what I do with the car. I'm like, I literally on the default setup. Y'all said I was lying up my ass.
That was before you actually did changes, yeah, to the pit stop and all that.
This is before I actually somewhat took it seriously. Because I did this. I did. I told you I did it for fun. Because
Right.
I wanted to open my horizon on to get better. Evidently, to get better at the game completely. And the owner of WSRO, Suave, was over here and over there in WSRO, and I was like, okay, I'll go over there, race a little bit, and learn presets again with with competitive people.
Well, you bring up a good point talking about with presets because you wouldn't really make changes. I'll say one guy, and we'll bring him up here in the podcast. Chase Dreamer was actually one that
He was
would
my
make a bunch
first
of
person to help me.
He would make a bunch of changes on a preset, and I knew you could do those changes, but I didn't know it would make that much of a significant difference on speed. I mean, he had some hookups on how he was doing the setups, and I learned that you could pretty much not every track, but you can take your custom setups a little bit and kind of tweak them to fit the preset side, and that's how I know a lot of guys gain speed with a lot of those I've just thrown in the chat. But I mean, yeah, it's it really is. I mean, I didn't know that even really existed. I didn't think that would even make much of a difference on speed, but I saw it work a few times, and I was like, okay, well, this actually is doing something. So
Yeah.
keep doing that.
But
I was just like you, Flash. I didn't realize that either until Chevy started helping me as far as setups went and what to do with my tire pressures and what he was running, and Chevy eventually got to the point to where it's like it was heathen and legit and finessed and Lagun. What do I have to do to beat this guy?
Yep.
And finally just learned how to do it. Chase's deal, and don't get me wrong, Chase is a great racer. he can be up there, but half the time his setups that he's got, they're either good, like they're good on long runs, but by the time they get good, it's just too late, or they're good on short runs, and then he falls off.
You know something fun about the party?
What's that?
When I first started doing the presets, like the adjustments and all that, like when I first started going on my tear, like after Sonoma, I'll say, or before Sonoma, something like that. Like when I was in like that massive win streak, whatever. That was all with Chase setups. Flash didn't start actually physically help me with setups and all that for presets until I think Kentucky and Truck or Cup, whatever. I think it was the first week that we actually,
Well,
sat
as I
down
said,
and
I mean, like that's
did
when I
that.
realized that feeding off of our custom setups was
Yeah.
possible. You just have to make the adjustments to fit for preset.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. Like I know a lot of people, if you're watching this podcast, you're getting into Heat or whatever, you're trying to find a good setup. You can find some good ones on YouTube, obviously, but one thing you will not find that much of, especially on Heat 5, you'll find a little bit from I think it goes far back as like Heat 2 or Heat Evolution even, where you have the pit adjustment setups. But there's not a lot of people that do pit adjustment setups on YouTube where you can go to them and like what changes you need to make going into the pits for that kind of a race, like a preset race. But yeah, it really, I didn't exactly know that either. I mean, I could make a custom setup, but I was like, well, what do you do at this point with preset? And I come to find out, basically, you make a similar change as you would with a custom. I mean, you have to, like I said, you have to adjust a little bit. You can't just, throw your wedge up to 54 like you would, at a certain
No,
mile
it's
and
a
a half.
fine line. You have
Yeah,
to find you have to
can't do that.
find like where the track bars are at
Yeah,
on a preset.
because they're default and you can't adjust those. So you have to maybe up your wedge, maybe half to a full round, and then obviously up your right side tires if we're talking setups right now. But yeah, but basically
That
what
was
I'm
a
saying
huge
is
thing this week too.
I didn't know that was
because,
possible, and that
um,
opened my eyes to what was possible with this game.
With what you just said about having the car tighter, that was a thing this week because I like looser cars than you do. Correct?
Yeah.
You like tighter
Oh, yeah.
cars. Darlington this week, I told you, Flash, go up on the when it was like one or two clicks. I was like, trust me, like it'll be worth it. You said you're like I'm not gonna do that. I don't know why you went tight or whatever. Meanwhile I was check the hell out. Like trust me, just trust me for one time in your damn life. Just fucking trust me. You
And it
did
worked.
it, and you were flying at that point.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for pit road penalties, we both would have finished 1-2 probably.
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
I would have had that race
But
won, but
that
it's whatever. Party. The real reason why he brought you in this podcast is this is, as we all know, this is the season recap of CRL this year, of the inaugural season of CRL. Speaking of, next week we'll be having all three of the championship races, broadcast races, on this YouTube channel right here. I'm assuming we'll have that out Saturday or Sunday. Probably alongside the podcast, honestly, we'll probably put them up. So, because I have to go in and or Flash will have to go in and do all that. So,
Right.
But party. I know that I don't want to ask you all the same questions I asked you last time because we already own this podcast, so I kind of can't ask you any real questions. But since we asked new questions last week, I'm gonna ask you those questions before we get to your recap of the year and your favorite battles and all that. So I know that we've talked about this before about your favorite tracks in the game and in real life. So I'm gonna ask you two different sets of questions. Okay, what is your favorite track to race? Oh, sorry, to race in game and shit. To race. Oh,
And
watch
then
the
to
race
watch.
in real life. Yeah, to
Yes.
watch the race. Because you watch streams too. We said physically go to watch is what we said, and then racing the game, and then your favorite track to watch in both, like whatever.
All right. So my favorite track to race in the game, and that's actually a tough one because I have a lot of favorites. But I would say the plate tracks, Daytona and Talladega. It's something about racing those tracks that just seems the most fun to me. Whether I'm leading the race or I'm in the pack or drafting or whatever, going 3-4 wide and getting that little adrenaline boost, like one wrong move and then this just goes to shit.
Side
That
draft.
there you go, side draft. What I had to hear for lap after lap and the Xfinity race there.
Hey, it was fun. Don't.
But just races like that. I mean, obviously, the races that I've won and can compete good at, I enjoy those too. But my favorites got to be plate tracks. Um, watching in real life, going to sitting in a race. Uh, it's a tie between Bristol and Daytona Night, the Daytona Night race. I've only been to a certain handful of tracks: Texas, Bristol, Talladega, Daytona. Um, haven't been anywhere else. Wanted to go to other races and see other races, but and I get to do that this week. I'm going to Darlington, so my mind may change on what my favorite track is because I've never been to Darlington. But and as far as watching on stream, if I had to watch a race, which I'm sure I'll catch quite a few of them in the booth with Flash next season.
Breaking
Yes, sir.
news.
Trying to think of one that I'm gonna watch that I probably won't race in. Probably Dover, maybe. It'd be between Dover or Vegas.
I would say Vegas.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm gonna shoot to run in at least one of those races.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because the play. Well, you have to watch the playoff race at least.
this is true.
So, because I know, as we'll get to later, you had a very, very, very iconic battle at Vegas, like a month and a half, 2 months ago.
I
If
did.
that. If that. I don't know if it was even that long. I don't remember. My memory's not that good with dates. I just know what happened that race. And I know from personal experience that was probably one of my favorite battles of all time. Because, we were side by side for like 30 fucking laps.
Huh. Man, it was definitely epic and one of the hardest battles I think I've ever been in.
Same. It was definitely my most, like, battle, like, sorry, like my most, like, worked off battle on a preset race. Because obviously, with me coming from like the custom side of stuff, battles over there are, very intense. So, but that
But
was definitely, the nail in
oh
the
yeah,
coffin.
oh absolutely. And when we get into that part, with the battles, and believe it or not, there's only one race out of this season that is my number one all time, probably will be all time favorite race.
It's definitely it's. But let me get it. I'll guess when we get there. But I think I know what it is. Um,
We'll see
I
if
think
you're
it's
right.
I think it's okay. Flash, I'm gonna ask you to ask him a question. You don't ask anybody anything, so you're gonna ask part of the question right now.
Excuse me, sir. I don't ask anybody anything.
No.
You wanna rephrase that question?
I I ask people questions most. Better.
Okay, that's
Hey,
fair.
hey, it's party. You have to at least ask him one damn question that's somewhat relatable what we normally ask or whatever.
Okay. Um.
And don't ask who his favorite commentator is. I swear to God, I'll smack you in the face.
No.
I know you're thinking about it.
No, I'm actually gonna ask a question about real life NASCAR here. And I know a lot of people could relate to, and they all have their favorites. But I want to ask you, what in your whole entire, I mean, like everyone we have on this podcast, you included, we're all NASCAR fans, okay? So what is your all-time
Bailey's
favorite
not.
race that, well, we've had, okay, yes, Ethan, thank you. What is your all-time favorite race or finish or whatever it is that you've ever watched, watching real life NASCAR? What is your favorite race of all time?
There's two of
Okay.
them. Trying to remember the year. I'm pretty sure it was 2015. The first Daytona race. I was a junior fan. Okay. The first race I ever seen Junior win at was Talladega. And I'm pretty sure it was 2015. And then, same year, I was actually living with a buddy of mine, and he couldn't go to that race, and he had to work or something, and so he's watching at home, and Junior wins, and I text him, woohoo, go Junior Nation, and he's at home just cheering, and I'm like, dude, he's like, man, I can't believe I missed it. I said, don't worry, man, I'm bringing you to Daytona. We're gonna watch him do it again.
Oh.
And he did it again.
Oh.
One Daytona race. That's the same race Austin Dillon flipped up into the catch fence.
Yep.
And I just looked at him, and it was just kind of weird because just a little backstory. Went to Talladega. He won. My grandfather passes away on Father's Day that same year. And a few weeks later, we go to Daytona, and my grandfather knew how big of a Junior fan I was, and Junior pulls out a win, and it was just it was just one of the best moments in watching real life NASCAR that I was a part of.
Yeah.
And that will stick with me forever. It was just awesome.
I can't
Well,
even imagine the emotion
yeah.
from that. Yeah. That's
I know that my first race ever was at Dover for the Autism Speaks race. My I have an autistic brother, and he was a huge Jimmy Johnson fan. His first ever NASCAR race, Jimmy Johnson won, and so you can only imagine the emotion of that, and I can only imagine the emotion that you were having that day.
Oh, it was,
or night, whatever the hell it was. It was one of the.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another story that goes along with all this, right? So, from being a little kid, the time I remember getting into NASCAR, my dad was a Jeff Gordon fan. So obviously, as a kid,
So was mine.
Dad likes Jeff Gordon. I'm gonna like Jeff Gordon. I'm gonna be just like Dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, first race I ever went to was Texas. I don't remember what year it was. Jeff Gordon wins. The second race I ever went to was Talladega. Jeff Gordon wins. Dale Sr. passes away. I go from Gordon to Junior, and a lot of people probably, even now will say, "Oh, you just went bandwagon." And no, I kind of felt like I connected with Junior after that somehow or another. It's just weird. It's like I got to know him, watching him and stuff like that. Just kind of flipped. And so I went to Junior, and I watched him come so close to winning races at Talladega. I was there when Brian Vickers spun Jimmy Johnson on the last lap and Junior on the back stretch. Yes, sir, I was there. My buddy, another one of my buddies, I brought him to his first race at Talladega. Carl Edwards flew up and hit the fence while Ryan
2009,
Jr.
Brad.
was coming. 2000, that's right. When in between there, went to Texas, Junior would wreck. Go to Talladega, Junior would wreck.
Mm-hmm.
Went to a couple Daytona 400s. I was actually at one. Michael Waltrip won. I think it was. I don't remember who.
Right?
No, he won in the 15 car.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought you were saying like after that because I remember I think it was 2011. Michael won in that 15 truck. I think at was it Daytona, or Dega
Correct.
when
It was the first race of the season.
yeah. But yeah, I mean he obviously he won several times though in that 15 Napa car.
Yeah,
Him and
he
Junior
won
always
one.
hooked up every year.
Yep, yep. And my buddy that was actually at the race, that Carl Edwards flew up and hit the catch fence. His first race, his second race, was the Daytona that Junior won. Austin Dillon flew up and hit the catch fence.
Oh, he's
His
a
third
bad
race
sign.
that I went, evidently, his third race that I went to was Junior's last year. Chase Elliott was driving in 24. Talladega, big wreck
Oh, when
on
he
the
flipped?
backstretch. No, his nose flew up on the fence on the backstretch. About took out the camera.
Mm.
So he's been to 3 races that had somebody getting airborne. You might as well say. And Junior came pretty close to winning that race.
Wow.
I do want to
Well,
say, you talked about, how you connected with Dale Jr. and all that. It's pretty much how I was with Larson, really. I mean, I met Larson several times at Williams Grove when he raced Outlaws and all that. But, um, you know, I was Flash. Are you sitting down?
Hmm?
Are you sitting down?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So before Larson came to NASCAR, I was actually a Logano fan.
Yes.
Granted, when he was, I liked him when he was in the 20 GameStop cars. I always thought the GameStop cars were the coolest cars out there.
Well, and he had great paint scheme. I got to go earlier than that though, if you're bringing up Logano, because you know how I've followed him.
You've been there since literally
This
off
actually goes
rip.
to the story that Party was saying about going to your first races. The first NASCAR race that I ever like actually was in person. Like I'm this close to Richmond. I mean, I've talked about on the podcast. I'm an hour and a half away from Richmond. I've been to Richmond a dozen times, watched the race. Been to Martinsville a few times, but my first race actually was in 2009 going to Dover. And if you remember that year, what happened at Dover,
Logano
um,
flipped.
I was there for that. That was my first race ever. Kyle Busch won. Logano flipped down the backstretch half a dozen times, and that was the guy I was
More
pulling
than
for. I
that.
actually, yeah, I mean, destroyed his car. I didn't think he was gonna walk away from it. I had no idea. We were watching it live. We were up in the we were actually in the air conditioned grandstands, like it's like screened in the whole way around. That was my first race I ever went to. I actually had the Logano jacket. I spent $120 and got like the actual Home Depot white with the orange overlay uh, on the track jacket or whatever you want to call it. Uh, and then that happened. That was my first experience with the NASCAR race. But yeah, but before that, well, actually in that same race, before it happened, remember Logano? He ran the 25 Chevrolet in ARCA a couple races. He won at Rockingham in his first start. I actually got him to autograph that for me before the race. I still have it somewhere in storage. I don't know if it's worth much, but it's the die cast for that race. And back then, a lot of people don't know is for his hauler at the time, his mom used to run the hauler, like the merchandise hauler for his merchandise back in about 2009, 2010, and actually just handed her that, and she got him to sign it, and she brought it back to me before the race started, and then he flipped about 6, 7 times. So I don't know if I was the bad luck on that or what, but it was an interesting story, definitely.
Look, here's one for you. Back when it's back probably 2010ish, somewhere around there. We went to a Talladega race, and it was one that Jeff Gordon won.
Mm.
His hauler actually flipped or flipped over on its side on I-20, about 30 minutes down the road from where I live.
I think I remember hearing about that.
And they rolled it back over, whatever, and he won that race.
I think that was about 2010. That same year, I know one of the races he had that like throwback Pepsi car that he crashed in, but I think the other one, he won. I think that was that same year.
Yeah, like I said, I don't remember if it was. I know it was around that year. I don't remember exactly when, because I was because I was driving at that point. And sure enough, the holler flip 30 minutes down the road on I-20 down from where I lived at, or the town I lived in, should I say.
Mhm.
And I swore up and down that they were cheating. You know, how you flip a holler, mess up with cars, and you go win a race.
Yep. But it's a long history of everybody saying that Gordon was cheating or whatever. It was a time where
Well, I mean, it wasn't
and-
just it wasn't because it was Gordon. It was just, it's just weird.
the fact that happened and he won, it's crazy.
But I mean, I've heard stories on Dale Jr. how they swore people were putting nitrous, or his pit crew was putting nitrous in his cars. He would be in the back of Talladega and go to the front all by himself.
Well, they said for Gordon for a time, and I actually think it came out that part of it was true or something. Evernham admitted to it or whatever, but there was time they said that they had a remote control to where they could drop the spoiler on his car and create less drag, and he would get that straightaway speed and then up the spoiler going in the corner so he turns better, like control the spoiler, basically remote control, back in the late 90s when he was like, I think it was like 98 when he won like 13 races that year. They said that was going on that year, and of course there's going to be all kinds of conspiracy theories with that when you're that dominant. But I mean, it would have been the same thing if internet existed. I guess when Petty won 27 races in 1967, that would have been the same kind of thing. Of course he had all the
Right.
money back then, but
Well, I mean, it probably is true. I think they on Junior's podcast, they had a story on there about one of the measurement deals or whatever they put on the car to go through inspection when they had the Pontiacs out there, and it had the thing had a curve, the template or whatever had a curve to it. One of the guys could go over there and cut the curve off the template, and he did. He went over there and cut the curve off the template to make the splitters could sit lower to the racetrack.
Mm.
And NASCAR never knew it.
wow. I think probably now there'd be more regulation to that, but they didn't catch it then, so I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
That's another thing, I guess, bringing into the conversation of the next gen car. I mean, do you think that's going to create more or less penalties when it comes to how those cars show up to the racetrack? And well, obviously, one penalty we won't see is a missing lug nut or whatever after the race.
Right.
I think four
I would hope
or
not.
five. Yeah, there's one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
so
you missed the lug nut. We got a problem.
yeah. So that's
Well,
one
damn
thing
car at
that'll
that
go
point.
away with it for sure. Because we saw 4 or 5 teams got tagged with that just this week at Kansas. I know Logano was one of them. I was, or his crew chief or whatever. How they fine them, however they do it, but from one missing lug nut or whatever. But yeah, you're not going to see that with this new car. But there's a lot more though that you can do. I was actually talking about it during the broadcast tonight in the race. We were talking about how the rear end is independent suspension on the left rear and right rear, and that's going to change things completely for the racing. And I just hope the new game can replicate that. I would love for all of us on track to be able to experience what the new car is going to be able to bring racing wise.
Speaking of the new game, party,
Yes, sir.
do you think that the racing, like league racing, will be a lot better when that new game comes out because of the fact that, we'll be able to, well, not only Kyle Larson in the game, but, a lot of other stuff, different tracks and all that going to be in the game. Dakota's going to be there. Daytona RC, Bristol Dirt's going to be there, which is, you know, a never before thing done with Cup where they raced the dirt. So I know you're looking forward for that race. So
As far as looking forward to that race, it'll definitely be interesting to get to learn that track. I hope it brings better racing. I hope we don't have the issues that we have now. But man, after so many just pretty much copy and paste games, I mean, you go from inside line to what was it, NASCAR 15 or 11, whatever it was. It was just so many. It's so much copy and pasting, and then it went from the heat games. I mean, yeah, the graphics got a little better, and you got a little bit better paint schemes. But as far as the issues that it still has. So, all these games that's passed up, now from like I said, inside line or whatever, it's you hope for the best, but don't get your don't get your hopes up because just because history, it's not in their favor. So we'll see. I do have high hopes, and I kind of wish or hope that the new game kind of goes back to I think it was
14 or 15.
14 or 15 that had the actual league deal where it actually calculated your points for you, showed
And it
it
did
in the deal.
laps led as well.
Right,
Mhm.
yeah.
Showed you had the best lap time, like during the race. That like it says like when people got the best lap of the race or whatever.
Mhm.
Like it was. And mind you, that was on the old gen consoles. Like that was on like 360. And like, why
360,
the
right.
hell can't you do that shit on like new
Well,
gen,
yeah,
Well,
and still in my
current
opinion,
gen?
It had its problems.
Well, I
Like if
know,
you
but
lagged out of a race, you didn't get your points. But the concept of it, if you can perfect that concept and put it in a NASCAR game, for us league guys, I mean that would be ideal.
even still though, at that
yeah,
point,
still
like
still top three
you
for
could
the
still like have like people in the league do the points and all that. Like that's not something that that they can't be done. Like
but have the game calculated for you.
Yeah.
That is pretty awesome. And that's why I said like the top three that I can think of NASCAR games overall, online or not, would be Thunder 2004, NASCAR '09, obviously where I started league racing on,
Hey,
talked about it a
can't
lot
say
on the
that yet.
podcast, and then uh, NASCAR 15, obviously those three, because 15 was basically just we talk about copy and paste. It was basically just copy and paste and everything from NASCAR the game inside and then inside line and all that. It all came to NASCAR 15, but then after 15, of course, it started the Heat line where we're at now. Heat Evolution. That's probably one of the worst ever to come out. Everybody would agree with that. Um, 2 was better. 3 was good. 4 was kind
Really
of
good.
yeah, the next step, and then 5 was basically 4. I mean, I
Well,
don't know if I
5 was
compare the
a
two,
little bit
but
better than 4.
little bit better
but
than 4, I guess, in a way.
the
But
tire
but
wear bullshit fixed a lot. So
yeah, but what I think we're gonna see with this new game, NASCAR Next or whatever it's gonna be called, NASCAR 21.
21.
I mean, I've heard it's NXT is what
Yeah, I've
but
heard that too.
yeah. So
I've heard both.
I don't know what they're gonna call it, but ultimately, but yeah, I think it's going to be next level. I think it's going to hopefully rival what we saw with the fandom gravitating towards NASCAR Racing 2003 season. I know that's still popular with people modding the game and all that. They just added the
Oh,
next gen cars in
yeah.
that game.
NR
That game's nearly
03.
20 years old. I
In
mean,
our
to get it,
2003.
yeah, in our 2000, to get a copy of that for your PC or whatever, if you, because the only way, I mean, you can download it obviously, through torrents or whatever, but to get an actual legit copy of it, it's over $100 even today, and that game is nearly 20 years old. That held up through the test of time, whatever they did for that engine. And I do see a lot of positives for the new NASCAR game being developed by the people from R Factor. So
Well, I mean, it can't get any worse than any past games from inside line or the game, or I don't see it getting any worse.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's only up from there. So, just
Right.
how good can it get is the question.
Exactly. Did Heathen die on us?
I'm here. I'm here.
As I say, wake up, Ethan.
No, I'm here. um, I was in the middle of dealing with
Eating
something.
pizza, we know.
No, I was in the middle of doing something. Dog died almost again.
Public service announcement: no animals was harmed in the taping of this podcast.
That's Stanley's job to say. Taking his
Except
job
Ethan's
away,
dog.
Heathen's dog might have Kermit to die, but it's okay. Nah. But I forget the hell we were saying. I literally zoned out. Shit. But you know what, party? You reminded me that we have to go to the next part of this podcast and talk about your favorite memories of the season. If you're ready for that.
Don't start tearing up, Ethan.
I'm not.
All right.
Look, party almost scared up earlier, so I don't want to hear his shit. He's almost
Look,
scared up
it's
several times,
emotional, man.
because of I mean, like me and you've said every podcast, Fox. Without him, we would, not only would CRO not be a thing, like the family that we've built in CRO and all the friendships that we've made and all that. This podcast wouldn't exist. Well, it might have, but not in the same name. It'll just been me talking shit for 4 hours by myself.
No, that would suck.
Yeah. No
With
one watched
no
it.
recollection of what to do next.
Exactly. And but party took action when shit got rough, and now we're flourishing. So I know
Another big word for you tonight, Ethan. That's awesome.
Shut the fuck up. I know.
There you go. There's a new segment to the podcast. Heathen's word of the day.
Ethan's word of the day: flourishing.
Wait, what does that word even mean?
I don't know. You said it.
What the fuck it is? Not that damn smart.
I might get this man a dictionary.
I don't know how to read. Party. So what has? Oh, you've been here since the beginning. We're done sucking your dick for at least a little bit.
Yeah, for at least the next 15
5
seconds.
seconds. Yeah. But we have the battles that you've had this year. Favorite race. We'll do favorite race first. The favorite race you've had all season. And we are including WSRL because it's still technically part of this season, technically.
Mm-hmm.
So we will include that.
That's fine. My favorite race did not happen in WSRL. Actually, it happened when we swapped over to CRL. Would be my first win at Trucks at Gateway. That
I fucking
is
know it.
my number one favorite race of this season. And
what I called it.
And it wasn't as much of the fact that I got my first win. It was watching the stream back and listening to the excitements in Years and Flash's voice when Flash was party's there. Where did he come from? and he's gonna make a move in turn one, and it was just that and Flash's excitement when I crossed the line, and it was party one, and it to a lot of people I guess the best way to put it is like this: when we had that talk about paint schemes meaning something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I hear excitement like that in the stream, especially if it pertains to me, it's like, okay, well, I did something that wasn't expected, something just out of the blue, just out of nowhere, just happened. Like, where did he come from? Type deal. And after that is what kind of lit the fire under me let's do this more. Let's get more wins. Let's focus more, and then the podcast comes along, and I listen to y'all's picks, and like when I hear y'all pick Chevy,
We
either
picked
when
Chevy
you
for other
get picked,
reasons.
well, I know that, but well, but hearing other names is like and it doesn't piss me off or upset me, but it's kind of like, okay, well, it's time to
the
get my
fire
numbers
under your
right. It's time to get my numbers back up there. Let's get back in that focus that I need to be in to get that momentum, to put myself in the right spot, to have a good race, to put on a good show for the stream. And it helps. It does. It just puts me in another place. And when I'm sitting behind that wheel on a controller, it's I'm there. I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to make the car better, the truck run better, and I do it. And before the stream, before the podcast, I just wasn't able to do that. It was my missing link that I needed to get the old league me back and the very competitive. You screw up, I'm gonna be there. I'm coming for you. You better do something. I'm knocking on your door. You've been in races, knock, knock, knock.
yeah.
Just little, you know, little bumps in the corners. Hey, I'm here.
Yeah. It's like the same thing with Dover. I mean, not Dover, Bristol. Like I didn't have anything. I didn't have anything to compete with you. Like I've said this. I didn't have anything to actually to beat you with. But I told you if it came I like yeah it wasn't. I wasn't trying to push the issue. I very could have pushed the issue and wrecked us both, but I didn't. You know what I mean? Like I could have pushed the issue and killed us both at that point in time. Um, but I was like, if you mess up, I'm gonna be there. And I'm not gonna be afraid to make that move. But I wasn't gonna go out of my way to wreck you for the win. 'Cause that's how I would have had to pass you is wreck you.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'd have made you. Pretty much. I mean, at that point, I needed,
and
I
I'm
needed to
not
win
I
to
don't
lock in.
winning like that.
Well,
And
I don't like winning like that either. And a lot of people don't. But a lot of people does. They don't understand. It's what that car in front of them does, or behind them
yeah,
that does to cause it.
Hmm.
And we've all seen races where somebody sends it in there on purpose. I mean, it's blatant. It's
Chase.
obvious. Nixon's
Sorry.
done it too.
Kentucky.
Yes.
Uh, but just little. We'll take tonight for example. You know, the bubble glitch that happened. Now, if I was running for the win or running to get locked in like Nixon was, Nixon was trying to push me out the way. Um, if I wasn't able to actually control the car, I would have been the one to put myself in to be wrecked because I was throwing the blocks.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have, would I've been damn Nixon, why'd you, do that? But at the end of the day, it was ultimately
Yeah.
my fault because
I guess you gave no
I did it.
choice.
Exactly.
Luckily, that's not how it happened, though. You kind of fucked yourself over. So for people that didn't catch the stream earlier on the CRL network Twitch channel, so Party was catching Nixium with under 10 to go, and Party, you want to be the one to tell your embarrassing story that you might get laughed at for?
Sure. Why not?
It still won't
Um,
be as embarrassing as what happened with Ethan that one time when. Oh, are we gonna talk about it?
Yeah, not yet.
So we'll start out like this. Starting last season and the start of this season, I was on a controller for pretty much the whole season. We'll say up until close to the playoffs, and then I decided to get a wheel and all that, and So I'm still getting used to where all the damn buttons and shit are. So, and I knew I had Flash watching my stream, and I wanted to keep it to where he can see the time that separated me and the leader, or if I was leading where I was from everybody else, and back to my tires and stuff like that. So I was watching the times of me and Nixium, and saw it start going down, and I smacked the wall at one point, and didn't really lose a whole lot to him. And I flipped over to my car to see if I had any damage, and I didn't. And in the process of trying to switch back to the time I had to make up on Nixium, I went to hit A, and right below A on the G920s is the damn pause button. And I hit the pause button. Now, I don't remember what turn 3 or 4,
It was
one,
one.
2, 3. Was it 1?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I just know I was going into a turn when I hit the damn pause button, and I went to hit A to continue or resume in the process of turning the wheel, so I didn't hit the wall, and I hit the B button and backed out the race.
Yeah. Party did a oopsie.
No.
But nonetheless, I know you've been a lot more pissed off about it if you were not locked into the Final Four. But like we said earlier in the podcast, you're the only person locked into every single Final Four. So that's something that you can be proud of, for sure.
Oh yeah. But if it was had to win, I'd have definitely been pissed off because
I don't think you would have been here tonight if that was the case.
I mean I'd have still been here. I don't. I do what my plans are to do and what I need to do. Racing aside, my obligation tonight was podcast after the race. No matter how pissed off I was or how bad my night was, I was going to be here talking about it regardless. More probably in a different tone than what I'm talking about it right now in. But and if that hadn't happened, that race probably would have went a little differently because I think I could have passed Nixium for the win. And that had actually been something else that kind of could have put a title under my name, because if you think back to the first episode of the podcast, who won that Friday night race?
Let's not
You
talk
did.
about that, okay?
So
That's right.
you
Didn't
know,
he finish second to him even? That's true. On our first podcast.
I forget what track it was though. The podcast.
no, he was a lap down. It was Dover. That was my first win in Xfinity.
Oh.
I was battling Chevy.
That's right. Dover was shit. I just said fuck that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you just had a complete shit night. Yeah, I forgot about
Yeah. I was not having fun in the slightest of bits. I went to get the
So-
fuck out of Dodge.
So I mean, like I said, that'd have been something to be not only a repeat winner. Well, not only be a repeat guest on the podcast, but be a repeat winner on the time I was at the podcast.
that.
Yeah. Which is a pretty big deal.
Well, it would have been, but unfortunately, that record's out the window.
Hey, it's okay. You still have you have the better record of being the only person in CRL to be in all 3 championship races.
This is true.
Which
And,
I don't know if it would have been the same if a certain guy. I'm kidding. We all know I would have choked somewhere in the playoffs.
well, I mean, I wouldn't say you choke, but I mean, whether you want to admit it or not, Kentucky probably would have ended the same for Cup. I mean, not Kentucky, Kansas. I'm sorry, Kansas would have ended the same.
No, I would have fine at Texas. I've always been good at
I'm
Texas.
talking about as far as winners.
Oh
I
yeah,
would
I know.
still lock myself into the Final Four there.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm not debating you would have gotten. I know you would have gotten it because I know you're talented. It's just the fact like, I mean, I don't really care anymore. I've known that I you know, haven't
Right.
been the strongest all year. I have to say, but it is what it is.
Well, I mean, you, and we're at that point now. I mean, you did give me one of the hardest battles I've ever been in. Let's go back to Vegas Heathen. You and Nixium up front drafting.
Yeah.
I finally get able to get up to you, and I stay with y'all, and we get into the final laps, and I'm giving you all I got. It side by side on each other's bumpers. Well, hadn't have made the mistakes I made, that race could have possibly ended different.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's going to come down to the same kind of situation here in ISM. Going to have a very intense battle for these titles. I feel like
It's very possible.
Yeah, and I guess I'm gonna look again on the points, but I feel like I already got an idea of what my dark horses would be, but I can either pick those now or we can talk about them in a little bit. I've been looking there, and I feel like I know what would be the surprise champion on all three series.
Well, I know Grant is the Cup one.
Yes, that would be my pick. Yes.
Who's truck though?
That one is
Because I'm by far the worst fucking driver in that truck thing. So.
yeah, that would be the only one that because Xfinity, my dark horse, obviously would be Zach.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. I'd say Zach.
But trucks, honestly, the dark horse in trucks would have to be Party with what we got, because I mean you've been pretty dominant in trucks. Chevy's been great in trucks as well.
I mean,
Gunge,
I would
he
say
shows
yes,
up and wins every time he's in the
but
truck.
I would not say that. I am like I struggle with ISM. So.
Yeah, but I mean, but still, like with the season you've had, Gunge, like I said, shows up. Chevy's been strong in the trucks. Between y'all four, Party, you would be my dark horse for trucks. The other two
probably
would be a
agree with
surprise.
that.
Yeah, I would have to say for trucks, you would be the dark horse. The other two, it wouldn't surprise me at all if you won. It wouldn't be a dark horse. But yeah, absolutely.
Well, and this is just the driver and me talking, because it's nothing against anybody else. Obviously, Flash, you're in the chat, and the other week we had this whole it was pretty much an appreciation day, thank y'all. People, was thanking me, and without y'all, the drivers, you Flash, the broadcast, there would be no CRL. It would just be my idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it would be. It wouldn't even be reality right now. But when it comes, I don't remember how good Jay Grant was last time we went there, or Pel Pro or Cowboy.
I know that Grant was strong in the Xfinity and the truck race that we ran there when he was the last truck race he ran with us. I know he did pretty good. So.
Well, and I know for a fact he already told me
Yeah.
he's been running laps there the last few weeks already practicing.
Yeah, I mean
I have too
as well.
Yeah, okay. So this is gonna be fun then.
But and here's gonna be the question though: are they running it under the right event? Because there are two, and they do feel different to me.
It does matter, yeah.
But I can see Cowboy being strong on short runs. I don't know if he's gonna have the long run car. Last time I raced Pel Pro there, he didn't do so hot. No, I'm talking about the Tuesday night league when we ran there. He didn't do so hot that night. So I'm basing my opinion off of that. Obviously, I think I can with the momentum I got, and obviously the talent I'm showing with a wheel versus a controller, I think I'm a little bit better than he is.
Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
say for Cup, I cannot call you a dark horse at all. Yeah, if anything, I would say favorite for Cup. I mean, Grant is going to be very consistent, or he always is. So I feel like he's going to be a challenge as well. But yeah, it's going to be fun there. Xfinity wise, that is what's going to probably, I don't know, any of them could be most interesting. I just feel like personally, I think Xfinity is going to be pretty crazy because obviously you got yourself, Heathen, Zach, and then of course Nixium locking himself in. So that's going to be pretty ridiculous because Heathen and Nixium, when they're going for a title, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some contact between them if they're up there battling. And you're going to be up there strong, and then Zach's going to be just sitting there hoping that y'all get together. He might win this. So
Well,
that's going to be fun.
I know that. Oh, everybody knows me and Lucas are like, we work together all the time. But we said like, this
Y'all
week
yell at
that
each other pretty regularly when you start leaning on each other in the corners and stuff.
Yeah.
Happens over here in CRL, PSES, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Y'all
Oh,
race.
we race each other like really, really hard because we want to pull out the best in each other. Like we said,
Well,
when he was on the
yeah, I
podcast
mean,
before.
it happens for me
like-
too when I run over with it's us three always in PSES. We're always
Yeah.
like,
Well, I
just leaning on
always
each-
you because why the fuck not,
well, I'm more aggressive around you or Nixium when we're running over there than I am with anyone else. I mean, and y'all the same way, and I respect that. I mean, he's the same way with me, but we know when to. I mean,
I
like,
know
I'll
to
pull
back the
over
fuck
if he's
off.
faster. He pulls over.
It's
if
pretty
I'm
much like
faster.
the Xfinity race. PS is
He actually
you
races
knew
me
I
better than
was
you
a
do.
lot faster. Well,
But
because
yeah.
I know that I can do more than he can with you. Because I know how to hit you. Because I've done it for fucking so many years,
Mm-hmm.
But
I think y'all
And
gonna
I
have to.
can't remember who said it, but I think Pepro, I think it might have been Pepro the other day when I was having a one-on-one with Pepro conversation. I think he said that he expected it to come down to fuel mileage.
It's very possible.
sorry. Yeah, I'm fine.
And like he
me
just had
and-
a heart attack.
No,
there
no.
for a
Me
minute.
and Ranger are doing something right now, and they added NASCAR stuff to another game. Finally, but
Are you really sitting there
Nonetheless.
on there with him right now?
y- yes. But party. So we talked about your favorite race of the year. What's your favorite battle of the year? I feel like I was guessing that it was gonna be Gateway because you watched Lucas Lillard choke his insides out.
I wouldn't say he choked. I would say he obviously number one didn't want to cause or wreck the owner of the league. That would have been a no-no.
I'll wreck
But
you. I'm kidding.
yeah, I'll do it right back. You know it.
Side
Um,
job. Side draft. Side
I swear I
draft.
wish I had a clip of every one of my pit road entries because you want to talk about choking.
You was talking. Look at fucking me and PSS this week, Flash.
Well, I was about to say my PSES choking going into pit road could be longer than this podcast right now. Just
Yeah,
clips
but,
of me going
I
into
mean-
pit road. 5-second clips of me going to pit road. There's enough to 3 hours of video probably over my career there. So.
You want to talk about pit road chokes? I mean, 3 speeding penalties at Talladega.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know.
You did have a few.
That's just not like me to do, but it's got to be the epic battle at Vegas. It got to be the number one. It was the hardest fought battle that I've had. Second, obviously the battle with Nixium for the win is, it's great, but that's third. The second would have to be my win against Chevy at Dover.
Okay.
That's yeah, no, that Wouldn't have been one that I thought you would have picked, but I actually
Definitely not.
agree though, because that was a hell of a battle between you.
Well, see, and here's the thing. It's just to beat Chevy is to me it's an what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, basically to beat him at his best,
Accomplishment.
which
Yes,
which
to
was
beat him
that,
at his best.
which
It's
was that night.
accomplishment. Yes,
Mhm.
it's a great feeling, and not to take anything away from Chevy at all, because Chevy is awesome competitor, awesome racer, and he hasn't really been on his game for the playoffs, which is not like him. But to go and race against somebody that you consider a very close friend, uh, you know, a good teammate. Not that I don't consider you heathen as a good teammate and friend, but
No, I know you and Chevy. It's
you
basically
know,
like your situation is basically same as me and Lucas, pretty much.
right.
Well, and that's the thing about Chevy. I mean, when he is on, and no offense to you, Heathen or
You
Nick Kim,
can't fucking stop him.
he will wipe the floor with y'all, not even trying when he's at his best, and that says something, because every week, y'all on and off race or practice with people that are some of the fastest on the game. I mean, there's a lot of pro
Yeah,
guys in and out that you know and you've ran with. I've ran with them
yeah.
same way, but
I
Chevy,
just every
when
week.
he is on, he is just as fast, if not faster, than some of those guys we're talking about. I
Yeah.
mean, I would say on an even setup, and I'm not calling anyone out. I would hope they would respect what I'm saying, but I feel like he could run with and compete with any of the like you're talking like Doha or Track Bar. If they are on the same setup, Chevy could run with him. He has that amount of talent when he's on. So that tells you how fast he is. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
that's definitely an achievement to beat him when he's at his best, like you said.
You know, and I mean Chevy's got so much seat time though. He's in so many leagues. I mean, he's probably not isn't as many as who y'all talk about. He probably don't have his numbers,
JP.
but
Yeah.
Chevy's in a lot of leagues.
hmm
He's got league race every day of the week. I'm pretty sure.
hmm
So to sit here and do that and be able to race every day, I mean, you're gonna find talent somewhere. You're gonna be able to do what Chevy does, and for somebody that helps people out like Chevy does, and he has, all I gotta do is say, hey man, tire pressures, I can't figure this out or whatever, and he's there. He sends me pictures or tells me what I need to do. To be able to just to learn what he does and kind of put your own style to it, your own driving style, and do what you need to do to your vehicle or car, truck, whatever you're driving, and beat him it's one of those amazing feelings. Like, hey, yeah, I won the real life Daytona 500 or something like that. It's
Well,
just one of those feelings.
a great example of his level of talent is here lately. Um, he's been running with us obviously Monday, Tuesdays, when he
Yeah.
can, or when he with PSES, and he takes his Heat 2 setups, because he has made setups since then, because we're obviously custom league over there. Um, he takes his Heat 2 setups and tweaks on them and makes it work for that. Which I would think the tires would be burning off like crazy, but he figures it out somehow, and he's passing us. Where I sit there and I'm making this setup for obviously custom Heat 5, and I sit there and I spend 3-4 hours that day making the setup. He'll come in 5 minutes and throw his Heat 2 setup in, make a few adjustments to make sure the tires don't burn off, and he'll be passing us like we're just sitting still. I mean, you know, ultimately, like, he hasn't had the finishes there, but that's more related to
He
racing
almost
more than,
won the
yeah,
Xfinity
he
race.
almost won. Like, the speed he gets out of a Heat 2 setup to Heat 5, it's just unreal, because it's
Oh yeah,
completely different. Like, what he can
yeah.
do just like that.
He knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to the adjustments. So when you have the nights like, and he's like, man, I'm too tight, I'm too loose. Like I'll send him when I'm running, and he'll put it in. Because I can't drive this, and I'm just sitting here, and in my mind I'm thinking, how? Me me and you run damn near identical
Well,
as
it's
far as
exactly
our
like, I
driving
mean,
styles.
he's in our chat we have that I put setups in when I make them, and he doesn't want to use them. He doesn't like. He wants to do his own thing. He doesn't like taking the help or using them. He makes his own thing, and it ends up being faster than we have with what we come up with. But if we try to run, I mean,
For the most part.
what he has, we wouldn't be able to do that. It's just I don't
Right.
know.
There's tracks where he's definitely fast. So there's also other tracks where, like, for say Vegas, where yeah he was fast, but his tire, like he even said his tire wear was not,
Right. I
it
mean, when
was
it comes down
not
to something like that, yeah, it starts showing. But like what he did with
Darlington.
Darlington, I was about to say Darlington, yeah, unreal. I mean, I finally got a setup that was stable at Darlington that we used, and he took his Heat 2 setup and had one that was even more stable. Like, I hadn't had a stable setup on Darlington the whole time I've been on the Heat games, but he took his Heat 2 setup, did a few tweaks, and he was right there and one of the fastest guys the whole night.
I wouldn't say that.
Look,
I mean,
I
he was
wish
definitely
Chevy
fast.
would have made this podcast
Top
because I
five.
was going to bring this up with him
Yeah.
in it just to get his reaction. But I texted Chevy the other day, or yesterday, as a matter of fact, after my one at Talladega, and pretty much said, "Look, man, I can't wait for our truck battle, for our truck championship race, because it's gonna. I know the battle. If I'm on my game, the battle me and him can put on." Whether we're 1-2 for the championship or back there trying to get up to the two in front, whatever, the battle that me and him can have will be probably one of the two best battles I've had in this season. Because championship race, it's all or nothing, and it's gonna be very. I won't say very, but it'll be a good amount of aggressiveness in there.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of aggressive driving on next week in all three races because it's the last race of the year. There's 100, 200, 300 bucks on the line. Emotions are gonna be high, to say the least. Well, I mean, which you expect that in a championship race. So you expect emotions to be high and to be a little more aggressive than normal. That's how real life is. Because everybody's trying to get every inch that they can. So I wouldn't be shocked if there was, some beating and banging, next week.
But this season aside, you want to know something that I cannot wait for?
Next season.
The championship race next season.
Same.
Here's a little exclusive for everybody that listens to this podcast.
I'm happy about it. Very happy.
Us admins sat down
Minus you.
in a meeting on Monday, minus Heaton,
Because I stuff.
in a Monday meeting,
And
in
Tuesday.
a Tuesday meeting, and when it about an hour and a half per schedule for trucks, Xfinity, and Cup, and we went through every race and took out races we didn't want, put in tracks in front of different tracks, put in tracks that wasn't in the schedule. And swapped a bunch of stuff around. And one of the things we did is we changed the championship track. We
Off
will
the
no
shitty
longer
ass track.
we will no longer have our championship race at Phoenix. It will be at Auto Club.
Auto Club official announcement right here. Oh wow.
Exclusive to the CRL podcast.
Exclusive, yep. You just got your exclusive TMZ reporting right here. Hey, I can tell you, hearing that all and seeing the schedule. I mean, I've seen what the schedule already. That just makes me want to get in the car so much more. I'm like, I can't wait to call it. But I mean, I'm gonna love seeing y'all on the track too. But it just that sounds so great too. It's going to be ending the season on that. I just can't imagine where the points will be at that point. Who knows who'll be the Final Four, but to end it at Auto Club, that anyone could win that with how the draft plays out and so many lanes at that track. Wow, that's going to
Yeah.
be that's
And
gonna
you
be
can
amazing.
drive it so much harder than you can Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. There's gonna be some battles go on there that's not even for the championship. That's gonna be good. I can feel it now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
it's,
people don't. I will say that's one track people don't get unless you actually race it. You know, watching it, I guess on TV, a lot of people don't like those 2 mile tracks like Auto Club or Michigan, but
Michigan.
but
Those are just
being
draft
being
tracks.
yeah, but being in the car, I get on the video game or iRacing too, same way, but it's so much different running around there, whether it be in real life or running on a video game versus watching it. Like, it is fun to
Yeah,
be
think
in
they have
that
the
car
the
running
fucking
around.
bumps are
Mm.
insane at Auto Club. So not only are you gonna have like the 70 fucking groove track, you're gonna have, you know, the like the bumps on the backstretch too.
Mm-hmm.
That could literally make or break someone realistically.
Yep.
Well, and I mean, at that point, if you're battling on the last lap and it could be for your title you can actually, you have the room on the track. You can drive it in there deep if you're going to try to send it and get in front
It's
of
like
somebody.
me.
You can do that slide job.
It's like my line
possible
that I run.
there.
So I run. You know what I run in Flash? I literally run. I run up against
The
the wall in
apron?
1 and 2. Yeah, and I run the apron 3 and 4, and it
Which
works.
is very weird, but yeah, it works for you.
He's like, I don't know how the fuck you do it, but somehow
You drive it in, looks like you're going to crash every time you do that, hit the apron.
He
like
really
that.
does. He scares the shit out of me when I watch him fucking run out of there.
Yeah, when we fucking did Auto Club in the
I've tried.
Tuesday night league.
He showed me what he does. I tried to replicate. I can't. I'm like, no, I can't do that on that one corner. Like how he does it in 1 and 2, it's fine, but then 3 and 4, he does that apron
I've
shit. I'm
run
like,
the
no.
wall in 1 and 2. The fuck do you
Yeah,
mean?
1 and 2, I'm fine with that. That's what I'm saying. I've run that same way, but I mean, I run low in 3 and 4, but you run
Lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't work in 3 and 4, so I have to do something.
Yeah, and you created that. I don't even know what to call that, but it works. So
The best line
And
5.
and I will drop another exclusive,
Oh?
another one. One more.
no
Another
passing below the. Oh.
No.
Below the apron.
Um,
I don't-
As much as I tried, and it's been no secret in the broadcast that we were trying to get rid of the road courses. The admins all agreed.
Hashtag save the road courses.
The admins all agreed that to be a champion, you should be able to run on at least all different kinds of tracks. And so when we ran the Roval, I said, this was the last time we ran it, and that wasn't a lie. That was the last time we ran the Roval. We swapped the Roval out for Canadian Tire.
That was the other one.
Mhm.
Nope, it was Canadian Tire.
What was the other one
yeah,
then?
that's the Roval date for Canadian Tire.
What was the other one then?
What other one?
The S one. That's in the playoffs too.
Oh,
Not for
Yeah, it is in the playoffs.
what series are you talking about?
All of them. At least the ones that you told me last night.
Xfinity is what I know of.
Yeah.
The only
I mean-
road course that is in Cup is Canadian Tire.
Yeah, I know the S one's another one then for playoffs.
It finishes the regular season.
Oh, that's right. It's the regular season. That's right. That's right.
Finishes the regular season for Xfinity.
All of them.
All
I don't think it's all of them. No, because it doesn't. Daytona finishes it for trucks. Daytona also finishes it for Cup. So it's
yes,
just
it's for
Xfinity.
Xfinity. Yeah, for Xfinity. If I can announce it, I guess. If you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So yeah, so yeah, for Xfinity, that will be the unique one that finishes the regular season off. It will be at Sonoma, in Xfinity. So I know Heathen's excited about that.
Oh
But,
yeah, Heathen's.
even though you hate Sonoma out of all the road courses,
That's my least favorite one, but that's my only win in
already
that
calling
season.
the win, huh? Damn.
Yeah, man. Bro, I have to. After the dominant performance I had early in the season, Cup, bro, had to.
I'll be broadcasting that, and I'll still find some way to wreck in it though,
Yeah, you will.
because I hate Sonoma.
Bro, no, you'll find a way to get a speeding penalty at Sonoma. Or
While I'm
Wreck Pit
broadcasting,
Road.
so I have
Yeah.
to wait 15 seconds before I talk again. I can see that happening.
Go on with the rest of the season. You know, there's been guys in here that I couldn't be more proud of. That you can tell they're getting better. Drake, Gator, tonight's race. I said it in the broadcast. Zach too. I said it in the broadcast. I say it here. I tried my damnedest to get Drake in there. I was bound and determined before I had my screw up. I was getting Drake in the Final Four. You know, I told you, Flash, when you interviewed me that I wanted him in there, and I wanted it. I wanted to see him in it. Just to know the feeling of you know, being in the Final Four, or somebody that wants you in the Final Four is an awesome feeling. And you know, Drake hasn't had. I mean, he's had a good season, but he hadn't had the best of seasons. So
Yeah, he's
for
definitely.
him to know somebody was actually trying for him, I hope gives him the push and the momentum he needs for next season too.
Well, I do know that Drake definitely was, you know, he pushed me almost to pretty much to my limit that night. He's still, you know, later in the race, but he actually beat me straight up. Like there was no moving me, there was no nothing. He beat me straight up at Vegas for the stage win. The same thing at what the hell was that? It was Texas too. He won a stage too.
Oh yeah, he's been fast.
Like he's gonna win a race. I'm saying it now. I believe it'll probably be a mile and a half, if I'd have to guess.
I don't know,
Because
if it
that's where
comes
he
down
showed
to,
his strengths at.
if it comes down to a race that I'm running for fun, you know, in trucks or Xfinity, and it's a plate track and Chevy has issues, I will push him to a win if it comes down to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if I was out there on the track in one of those, I'd push him or Gator to a win.
Shit,
I'd try to push.
I'd try to push Gator to a win.
Look, I know I said earlier in the season that I was going to push Gator to win. I was going to push him to the Daytona 500 win. But being behind Gator and him seesawing scares the shit out of me. And I cannot follow him. I'm sorry, Gator, but I can't follow you, man. Once you learn to hold a line, we'll talk. But
What do you
man,
think? That sounds so
Well,
disrespectful. No, I'm kidding.
well, no, and in the same situation, I mean, last night, you know, you finished in front of him, but you had to lock yourself in. You couldn't. I get if you already locked in, I could have seen you pull over and he would have won the race probably. But you know, or you would have swapped and maybe pushed him or however you wanted. But and that wasn't going to work out in that situation, you know. So.
and
That,
as fun as it was last night, he scared the shit out of me last night behind me seesawing. I could just see him clipping my quarter panel and me go for a spin.
I was waiting to see it. I was like, he's gonna win this race. But
And
I knew you had to hold on for it. I was like, so it's not going to be a case of you're going to help him win. You had to win that one. So at least for yourself, you trying to get locked in. So I was like, yeah. So we'll see what happens.
The last 3 laps last night, it was all mirror driving, just watching him go back and forth, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm not getting off this bottom line. He's got to go high. And that's the best place for me to throw the block is when he goes high because
he went high, low, high, low, high.
I
low.
know,
That
but
was fun
I mean,
for
if
me.
he was on my bumper, And my train of thought was he's gonna have to go high, and I know I can throw that block because he's not gonna be able to shoot just right back down.
Yeah.
He'll end up probably wrecking himself if he goes right back down. So I was like, I'm watching my mirror and driving at the same time for the last 3 laps of that race. And when he finally backed off enough for me to start snaking that draft, I knew I had him.
Yeah. I mean, I literally wrecked myself to try and watch that finish, but evidently, it you had other plans. So yeah, it was a hell of a race last night, and truck race was a hell of a race tonight as well. Um, Obviously I wasn't in it because I mean that was probably for the better, honestly. That was definitely for the better that I wasn't in the race tonight. Well, that race, the Sierra race tonight. I For people, I don't know, y'all don't care, but well, I know some people do, but I was helping out our buddy Sean, aka Kiss the Fox from the podcast last week. Um, I ran with his league to help out people and try and help people like me and Sammy, well, Dude Chef as people know him by, ran over there and helped try and help people learn. And we did that. So I was actually 4 laps late, and I got told to basically to fuck off. I'm kidding. I just it was I'd rather not race anyway. This track sucks anyway, so I was like, fuck yeah, I didn't really care.
I used to say that too when I was on a controller.
Really?
Oh yeah, I hated Martinsville. I could not run it.
See, I've never liked it, even when I was on, even when I had
Well,
a
that's
wheel.
what's crazy for me. I used to hate it as well. Like Heat 3, I guess, was when I really hated it. But since Heat 4, Heat 5, I like it. Developed a love for it. Just like last week, I developed a love for Darlington. I never thought I would. I guess I
Same.
practiced enough there and
Look,
enough.
and that's the weird thing, back to when we were talking about, the older games, you go back to Inside Line and NASCAR the game. I love Martinsville. And my league, I mean, nobody could touch me. Throw
Mhm.
my tire pressures down to 12 all the way around. Nobody in my league figured that out.
That was like NASCAR '09 in Bristol for me. I actually had for at least like 6 months of the game's life, I had the all-time best lap in Xfinity at Bristol.
I think I was running like 19.8s or 19.7s, and everybody else was running 20.1s and stuff. And like, how are you running 19s? I'm like, don't worry about it. And then we went to here on controller, and then I'm like, dude, I can't get this track from Heat 2, 3, 4. Even the beginning of the season, the leagues in Heat 5, I'm like, I can't get it. I can't figure it out. I
Yeah.
can't figure out how to run here. I can't just drop my tire pressures down and hook the corners like I used to do on the old games. Like, it don't work. And then switching over to the wheel, and bam, it just, there it went. That was my missing link.
When you say drop the tire pressures, are you saying like lefts and rights?
He drops
Yeah.
he drops 4% on each, or 4 pounds on each.
Oh, okay.
At least that's what he told me. I don't know if that's just for that specific track he told me for, or if that's everywhere.
You talking about it now?
Excuse me.
No, you said before, with the setup that you gave me to try and punch my ticket in, you talked about, till you said Final Four, but I mean, at the end of the day, Flash.
So-
I ended up using Flash setup that night.
Well, what I do now on Heat 5 and going into these races is kind of what Chevy does. I'll drop my lefts down a pound, 2 pounds, and I'll kind of even them out. So if they're sitting at, say the left sides are sitting at 20, left front's 20, and left rear's 21, I'll drop them down to 18 even. If my right sides are sitting at 30, right front's at 30, right rear's at 28, whatever it may be, I'll bump my right front up to 35, 36, and I'll probably, and my right rear, I'll bump it up just 4 or 5 pounds under my right front.
Yeah, that's exactly. Well, my lefts on Martinsville, I put them down to 11 on the front and then 10 on the rear, on the lefts, and then I put mine to 34 and like 29 on my rights, and then I tighten it up to about 50, 50.7, 50.8 if we're talking cup. A little bit less for Xfinity, a little bit more for truck.
But tonight's the only night I can't remember what my tire pressures was, and it was the only series that I touched them in. Because when we came here in trucks, anytime I did anything to my tire pressures, my truck would fall off. I had to go default. Other than the tape, same thing with cup. I went default. If I touched tire pressures, it went away. I had to stay default. So coming into this race tonight, I thought, I'm gonna have to stay default. And yeah, I had a long run car, and then I just to try it out on the first pit stop I made, I did the tire pressures and it was better.
Yeah.
Which even if you missed it, I'm sure Flash did. But I saved gas in the first stage.
Oh, I know.
tonight.
Oh, I saw. No, I literally was riding with you. I was like, this motherfucker's in neutral.
Well, and not even that. I mean, your tires, even at the end of the stage, I was like, I don't know if I said it, but I was thinking in my head at the end of the first stage, I was like, you could have ran another whole stage on tires.
Look,
Tires, yeah.
I can't remember.
Your
It
tires
was
were still. No, you were sitting on your rights. You were it was like, I think it was like 70, 73 and like 60, 66, 67. I don't know. It was like it was still good after like 70 laps. I was like, God, all right.
look, and that's why I've been saying I knew I had something for Nixium because Nixium couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And
That we
it was
know of,
5.
at least.
Oh, I know he could. He said it in the race. It was maybe 10, 15 laps in, maybe less than that. Chevy was leading, and he goes, man, my tires are going to shit. My right side, it's 30% different. It had to have been 5 or 6. 'Cause I was still on. I was like on 90. My right front was like 97, and my right rear was 93. Somewhere around there, I was like 2% difference in them.
Yeah, your
And,
rights weren't that bad. I mean, even at the end of the run, it was less than 10%.
Yeah, Chevy's like, yeah, he's like, my rights are, there's a 30% difference between my right front and right rear. I'm burning off the right front. Next thing he goes like, yeah, mine are too. And I'm like, are you serious? Y'all 30% difference? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, dude, mine's sitting at 97 or whatever it was at the time. My
Your
right
right rear was more burning off. What preset were you on tonight?
a 4.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's what I
And
would use too. 4 or 5.
and Nixium was like, you're lying. There's no way your tires are that good. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, there's 2% difference.
I watched on stream all night that the right rear would wear off more on yours than anything, and it wasn't even that much. It was 5-6% at the worst. Maybe I think it was like 9% at the end of the run was about the difference. The right rear lower, obviously. But your lefts too at that end of that first stage, it was, I think you were like 83 and then like 79 or something. Like the lefts were still like you wouldn't have changed them the rest of the race at that wear.
Right, and and I've said it before. I've said it in the stream. Even before race, Martinsville, to go fast, you have to go slower. So I'm watching, Nixium and Chevy just hard running these corners. I'm listening to Gator and Drake trying to do this. I'm like, dude, Drake, look,
Well,
I break
in
here.
the corner, they're wearing that right front out. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm like, Drake, look, try this. And this is where Nixium was talking about how I was giving tips, and it was to my demise. When obviously me backing out the race was to my demise. But I was like, Drake, look, front stretch, break here, go in the corner and coast it. Just let it roll. And backstretch, same thing. I said, now in the corners on the back, coming out of four, I was like, where the concrete and grass meet? He goes, yeah. I said, barely getting the gas there. And when you're coming out, right on exit, I said, full throttle it. Now picture that in turn 1 and 2, and that's where you do it there. You will save gas, you will save your tires, and you will actually have a better car on the long runs.
I know Drake. He saved fuel. That with you.
Mm-hmm.
At one stage.
Well, and I told him, and I think that was stage one. Yeah, it was stage one. I was like, 'cause I had saved what, Flash, 2 or 3 laps of
4
gas.
at least, I think it
Was
was.
it 4?
Yeah. I think you had,
I was,
yeah, you had to say 4 in that one. Yeah.
I
Me
told
and
Drake, I said, look, Drake, if you got to pit, man, go ahead and pit because I don't have to. He said, are you serious? I said, yeah, man. I said, I saved gas. I'm over. I'm good to go. I said, so don't, if you're banking on me pitting to win this stage, I said it's not gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen, Chief.
I think at one point I said in the stream, I was like, you were like 4 to the good, and I was like, because I obviously I could see your fuel and I didn't know who behind you. I was like, well, if I was still in this, I'm on the controller, I'm not shifting in neutral, going to the corners. I can't obviously. I was like, well, at that rate, then I would be at least a lap or 2 to the good, but most people I guess weren't. But I don't know. I've saved fuel at Martinsville. I know that you just kind of you really do, like you said, just run it very easy and you can save it. Like I said, I mean, you're going to save more when you're shifting it in the neutral, but I still on controller. I think I could have saved on that same rate, just not as excuse me, not as good. But
That voice crack much.
yeah, I know, man.
That's
But
Stanley, Stanley, you have to like make that louder, man.
oh God, don't give him any ideas.
Oh,
I already
here
gave
that's
him the
plenty of
Price
ideas.
is Right thing. Oh, he's gonna put the Price is Right thing over that, isn't he? Oh God. No,
You
but
asked for this.
That was Martinsville has got to be, for me anyway, the hardest track to do what I was doing on. And
sure.
that's why I did it in the first stage, just in case it came down to see if I could do it. And I was struggling. I'm like, damn, I'm going too high in these corners. I don't like it. It one mess up because I'm going in here without the ability to slow my motor to slow me down, obviously. But to go in here just coasting in here like this, it's just it's touchy. And then throwing it back and forth. And by the time I'm firing it back up to hit the gas, I'm like, damn, I can spin my tires coming out of these corners and just screw my run all up. So I was worried about those things in there with that, and I'm just like, I was just happy to be able to do it, but it's not something that I would just do if I didn't have to do it.
Right.
Just think, party. You like you know how you said about how Lucas said tonight that you giving tips out was end of the day your demise, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Kansas, where I said about how you could shift the bitch in neutral and save
I already
fuel?
knew that. I already knew.
I know,
could do
but
that.
you weren't comfortable doing it though. Is what I'm saying.
Well, you're right. I wouldn't because I had never
And I
done it
kind
before.
of, and I was like, no, this is like you just gotta like get off the gas completely, put that bitch in neutral, and then just go.
Yeah, but you do it on a
Like,
controller, which is like I don't even understand. But yeah,
see, I don't know why people don't understand how I do a controller. Like,
I've tried. I know what you do. I've tried that, but you gotta like.
fast fingers, dog.
Look,
You gotta like.
I can't
yeah,
do it on
you gotta
controller,
like.
but
That's how quick you gotta shift.
yeah, I
It'll do
shift
that without
differently than you do on controller because I'm using the B and Y or X and B, whatever it is.
Yeah, I use the triggers.
Yeah, see, I don't use the triggers.
The triggers? You mean the
Bumpers,
bumpers?
sorry.
Okay.
Bumpers, sorry.
I was about to say, what do you use gas and brake then?
Yeah,
I
don't-
use
don't
A and
use
B.
the bumpers, but I tried
wait,
doing
what?
that on controller, going to neutral, but
Wait,
it just bogs down for me.
did you just say your gas is A, Ethan?
I was joking.
I was about to fucking. Oh God.
Do you not
yeah.
remember like NASCAR Thunder 03 where A was on the
Yes,
GameCube, where
that
A
was
was the
standard,
gas
yes,
button?
I know, but I'm saying like that's
Bro,
like,
that was my. Well, I can't say it because in 2 weeks here we have a special that I'm gonna suck my balls up my throat and actually do. Because we've already
yeah.
said it, and I know Party he's fully behind the decision, but um, yeah, I'm just like, well, I kind of can't back out now. I'm too far deep into this mess to back out of it.
Well, you got to tell your whole damn 12-week life story, Jesus.
Pretty much. Oh, no, I'm kidding. No, but the thing is, that's like, that's how shit happened though. Was because of that issue.
Yes, but you
So.
know, I mean, okay, well, I mean, you talk about what you want to talk about then.
Yeah, I know. Don't make me reconsider.
Just so you know,
okay?
you don't have to talk about something you don't want to talk about.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know, but but you know where I'm coming from, right? Though, like when they
Yeah.
when you ask, like, how did I get my start? I can't lie and say like something else that wasn't true.
No, but you also don't have to talk about those times where you were on the street corner, you know, all that.
Oh my
It's all right.
god! I was not actually on the street corner, guys. Jesus.
Not that long. It was only a couple weeks.
Yeah, and I fucked
Behind them
Flash
dumpsters.
first. Well, Flash was there first. I kind of touched Flash.
Yeah, that's how we
Pretty
met.
good. Yeah. It is, man. We met on the corner street.
I still ain't got that $20 back yet, man.
Damn, it was that bad? You had to pay him. He didn't have to refund you the money.
No,
supposed
he was bad. I wasn't. He was bad.
to. Well, yeah, but I was the one paying, so you know.
He was sweaty as
Not
hell.
my problem. Yeah.
We were in the air conditioning. He was sweaty as hell. We need to get
I
back on
see that.
topic though.
Yeah, everybody just unsubscribed right there, like, oh, this is gay. That's all right. We're inclusive. We love everybody. In all seriousness, we do. You know.
Except for Heathen. He's a fucking dumb.
Yeah, except for Heathen. I mean, like, yeah, Heathen sucks, but.
All we've been through. For all the times I massaged your back.
No, I
Again.
think this would be the perfect time to do this part of it, though.
Hey, so this part of the podcast.
Yeah. This part of the podcast, perfect time.
But party,
We
is there
got-
anything that you want to talk? Actually, since we have you on, I would like you to talk about tryouts.
Oh yeah,
Because
that's what I was about to do. Because
I always
you can't remember
forget.
the dates.
Yeah, I can never remember.
Okay, so it was drilled in my brain, and I might have them wrong, but originally it was May 26th, June 2nd. What are the dates?
Still is.
Hey, not. Oh.
Yes. All right. So I've been right the whole time and talking about that shit. Cool.
Imagine he
Still
wasn't
is.
right. Imagine he was fucking wrong the entire time.
Well,
I don't do
do
numbers wrong
make
that often. I might be a lot of stuff.
mental notes when I listen to the podcast. So, but yes,
Party
we
listens
have
to the
tryouts
podcast.
coming up every episode, all the way through.
That's painful.
Not really.
Oh, listen
I
to
do
my
when I'm
ass.
driving.
Oh, that's different.
Now, the people in the truck with me might not like it too much, but you know they can fuck off.
Wait, party. The people that are in your truck are now gonna hear you tell them to fuck off. By the way.
That makes it
The
better.
Look, the guy that's with me that listened to this past time on the way up in North Carolina is sleeping in the bed right next to me. I'll wake his ass up, tell him to go fuck off. I don't give a shit.
This is why we have one of the best podcasts. Well,
This is very
I say
similar
the
to my
best podcast.
relationship.
But
What?
With who?
Oh.
anyways, back on topic. CRL's tryouts are coming up. Anybody new that is going to the Cup Series or wants to be Cup Series level has to make both tryouts. May 26th and June 2nd. There will be 3 races. Each race will be a 25% race. Admins will be in there making sure you're not overly aggressive driving too early, can follow rules, do manual cautions. Everything that we do in the Cup Series, we're going to do in these 3 races on each tryout.
Yeah, I really wish that these races were not on a Wednesday; they were on a Thursday, because so I can actually participate in these.
So I apologize here for inconveniencing you.
Better. Well, Flash
I will
can't
be there.
either. It's fine. What?
I will be there.
Okay. I see how this
No,
Flash.
I will.
It's not a guarantee that you will make Cup Series. Not saying you won't, and I'm not saying you are. Depends on how you drive. If you don't make
Gosh,
Cup
man.
Series, don't freak out, get mad, leave the league, go start, get your Xfinity start, Truck Series starts. Yes, at that point you have to stay in Xfinity and Truck for the whole season. But after 5 races in those series, and you prove yourself there, you can be promoted up to the Cup level with enough time to get a win, lock yourself into the playoffs, and everything be good to go. We are as well looking to fill a admin role. So if you're looking for a league, looking to come in and join one, want to be an admin, possibly, not guaranteeing you'll get the spot or nothing, but looking for an admin. We are trying to fill the truck commissioner spot that we just recently lost over some, I don't know what, but yeah.
Over some
And one thing
bullshit.
I wouldn't want to just put words in your mouth to talk over your party, but I would say anyone that's looking for that position, you agree with me, probably have some past experience with other leagues that
Oh, yeah,
they're used to
100%.
that kind of situation being in an admin's position, and if that's the case, and
Yeah, 'cause it is
maybe
kind
you
of
just you want to
pressureful.
get back into that, we're definitely looking for that. That experience will greatly improve our league, and you'll definitely be a great fit for that. If you listen to this,
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, is there anything else that you want to say or whatever? Because we're almost at 2 hours, by the way.
No, I think we can move on to NASCAR and the
Well, we
picks.
can't do the NASCAR yet.
Why can't we do
Oh, I
the
can't. Well,
NASCAR
you got
yet?
something else to talk about, Heathen?
Yeah, I do.
I'm
What would
sure.
that be?
Yeah, I know.
Something about him.
No,
Yeah.
about how many
Hey.
wins you got?
Well, part of it.
Stage on you.
So the weekend or the week recap, and we always do that, and both PSCS and CRO. Party, you want to go with the Cup race? What happened in CRO?
Sure. So the Cup race, I got screwed on. Cup race in CRL was at Martinsville. Tyler Cubs won that one. Unfortunately, making it to where Chevy couldn't lock himself into the playoffs there. Thursday night was Talladega. That's where some stuff happened.
Yeah.
I won that race.
You won.
Dominated
Wow,
pretty much
all
the whole
about
thing.
yourself, party. Jesus Christ.
Hey, somebody's got to do it other than you.
There's got to be somebody else talking about themselves once in a while.
I joke,
And then-
I kid.
Tonight, back at Martinsville for Xfinity, I fucked myself over, and Nixium took the win, locking himself in to the Xfinity Final Four.
And then that brings me to the
Well,
PSCS side.
before
Not
you
yet.
get there, then let me mention 2 out of 3 races were win and lock yourself in this week. So that's what happened with you, party, last night, and then tonight, of course, Nixium did the same. So that was pretty 11th hour clutch for both of y'all.
Oh yeah.
So that was good to see. I know you mentioned the first one there in the Cup Series with Tyler Cubs winning, that knocked Chevy out, who could have won, but that almost again was win and lock yourself in. So yeah, it came down to it. Everybody showed up, showed their best speed, and there it is.
Oh yeah. But since that was recapping CRL this week. PSCS is at Darlington this week. I won the the truck race, sorry. In a dramatic green white checkered sequence with me and Flash were in the front row. Well, when the last green flag, the last green white checkered, and he got touched a little bit, but it's fine. And then the Xfinity race, the same thing happened. Me and Flash probably had the best cars all night. I won both stages, and pit road was a
setup,
very
by the way.
Yeah, I said thank you in the interview. All
I know you
interviews all
did.
week.
I
I
know
said
you
I
did.
said shout the Flash. Um,
Found new love for
but
Darlington for sure.
dude, hell yeah. I didn't like the track at all, and now it's like holy shit! Like this track actually like it fits my driving style in a way. Which I never thought it would have. Track's too like technical. I'm not good at technical
Your driving
things.
style, what you mean, confusing and shouldn't be shaped that way?
Yes.
Because that's Darlington.
Hey, it works though, doesn't it?
It ends up working, yeah. So
But Nixium ended up winning that race. But I do want to give a shout out to Chevy. He actually led quite a bit of that race, and if he wouldn't have spun out because of the glitch in the backstretch at Darlington out of turn 2, Chevy probably would have won that race.
yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. How strong his car was, and again, that is based off of a Heat 2 setup that he ended up making work that was faster than what we had, and that I mean we arguably were.
I don't know if it was better than the setup with the adjustments at least, but he was
definitely
fast.
was better short run, and it
definitely
was
better
working
short
out
run.
in his favor
100%
overall.
short run,
But yeah, I mean, even what we brought to the table and blew everybody else away, which shocked them. I know it did.
Oh yeah. They're like, what
Chevy
the fuck?
was still
How is
able to
he
get
out
that
there
Heat
by
2
like 10
setup.
seconds on lap 5?
Yeah.
I mean, evidently it took you a while to get the grip of everything. But once I gave you the adjustment, which you probably never thought I would ever be able to give you, because I'm not the best with adjustments and all that.
What with the trucks? Yeah.
No, with all I told you in Xfinity.
Well,
too.
Xfinity as well, but yeah, those.
Xfinity worked better than the truck did. Cause I didn't tell you anything in the truck, cause I was quiet during the truck race. But and then Wednesday, again X25, who shout out to him. He finished 20. Well, I think he finished 18th in the Pro League the qualifier thing, for Darlington, and
One of the best
second
out there, yeah.
To finish second to
Shows.
that made me feel like I'm not actually as shit as what I actually was. I only lost in my 0.3 flash is what it was, Stan.
Yeah,
I know you weren't in the race, but I think it was
shows
0.3.
that setup was meant. I mean, because yeah, we're talking about somebody that is
Like one of the best in the game.
on the Pro League's radar.
And he's on
this
controller,
next
by
season
the way.
coming up. Yeah,
He's on controller as well.
yeah. That gives me hope. that
Gives
actually
me
there's
hope.
speed in the controller. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he's especially
he's
these mile and a
fast.
half, or whatever
Oh,
you
yeah.
call Darlington mile, 1.3 mile, but same mile and a
well,
half tracks.
as of from now on, I'm calling that a mile and a half because I'm actually good at it. I'm only good at a mile and a half, so I'm
Pretty much
a
is.
mile and a
I
half
mean, it's
from now on.
1.3, so
Yeah. But then, IRDO, aka Sean's League, we ran tonight at Kansas. He had me and Sammy on there racing with them tonight, which is an honor to be with them. Got to help a lot of guys out, like I said earlier in the podcast. Man, when I tell you, like, those guys are like genuine, because all day, we said that there was this, like, we were gonna have a surprise guest, whatever, or a special guest, Sean put it as, and when I showed up, they all, like, other than Sammy was kind of mad, but everybody else is like, holy shit, because apparently a lot of people there know who I am, but I don't. Like, apparently I'm famous, Flash. You know that? I'm famous now.
Thanks to the CRL podcast.
No, it's because
And I
me being on
approve this
every
message.
party. If you run for president, I will gladly have this as as your
I'm sure
he's
you
basically
would.
saying if you run for president, he would gladly talk about himself more.
yes. How'd you know? But I ended up pulling the W out tonight. But
Oh no shit.
no, Texan. What the fuck's his name? It was Texan. Let me look it up. Actually, hold on. It's Texan something. I think it's Texan Joker. Honestly.
Yeah,
I think
it
it's-
was Texan Joker. I saw your party. Yes, it was Texan Joker.
Okay.
That one.
Yeah. So it was Texan Joker.
You hear what I said.
69. Won. That got credit for the win, but they all are fast. They all enjoyed the company, I guess.
Absolutely.
From what I was told, apparently from what Sean said, like they all lit up after I left the party. That ever come over here with y'all, they all lit up. Like yeah, I was like, oh well,
You know what?
that's a surprise.
Since you're talking about them, why don't you go ahead and extend the invitation that we talked about earlier right here,
Oh
officially
shit!
on the
Oh
podcast?
no, no. I mean shit. I mean Sean is probably the biggest fan of this podcast. So Sean, I have a proposition for you, buddy. Um, CRL races Wednesday through Friday. I know that IRDO is running Mondays as in of June. I forget what day exactly. It's beginning of June though. We at CRL here would love to become a quote unquote sister league with y'all, and you know, have like you know, do what sister leagues do. Um, if you're interested, which I know you probably are, you can message me your party. I know, or just tell me whatever, and because we would love to work with y'all. What I saw tonight out of all your guys, how clean they were, how much talent I see over there, and just like the family that y'all have over there was too much for me not to say something to the party about it. So you can ask Party when I went over to his party after he quit the race because he couldn't win because he couldn't win or whatever.
Yeah, and when you go to the
Um,
party's party, it's a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't win.
Hey, it was a joke. Let it alone.
Well, I'm
I
laughing.
told him I was like, and you can ask, like, Party, you can vouch. I was like, so I raced over there, and I was like, all them guys are literally like, it's like one of the most like family leagues I've ever been in. Like there,
That's
it's
exactly
only,
what
it
you
was
said.
Well,
it was
yeah, and
only
I gotta
good
say,
things
and
about it.
not to cut Marty Ensley or Rock NASCAR or whatever short on our returning guests, because love to have him back. But I would honestly, with everything going on right now, I would love to have our second returning guest be Sean. Um, I mean, obviously we just had him on, but it'd
Though
be
we already
great
have
to
Dirty
have
Birds on the 11th.
Right, but I mean, I would love to have Sean back on as soon as we
Yeah.
can.
Oh, for sure.
It was
He
a
was a
great
lot of blast to
interview,
have.
and Marty as well. I mean, I'm just
Oh
saying,
yeah, Marty.
like,
Yeah.
and I think he would love to hear that though, because I know him and Sean know each other very well, and they're
Imagine
close.
having
But
him and Sean on the same podcast together.
that is what I was about to say. That would be an awesome podcast. We could have both of them
I'll talk
together.
about it. I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
with that invitation and stuff being said, I cannot guarantee y'all come over here and run in Cup, but we can throw y'all in trucks and Xfinity and
absolutely,
test your skills there. In a
absolutely.
matter of speaking.
Yeah, sure. And I know from experience this league is no. Yeah. Every league has ups and downs, part of we all know this. No league
Absolutely.
is perfect. But
Wow, agree 100%.
and we don't try we don't try and be perfect. We do, but we don't we all know no one's perfect. No one's gonna be perfect. So we accept we have our ups and downs. Every league does. Then we accept it. We don't be like, oh no, our league's perfect. We take our L and we go. We rebound from it. That's why I personally have fallen in love with this. Because
Well, and that's perfectly well said. Like, I mean, no league will be perfect. But what I see for this league and what we do with this podcast is take the best parts of every league that
Leagues.
we can
Yeah.
and be the most positive that we can be and uplifting to the community and get the best people around us and involve that with the podcast and people we got coming in. That I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I mean that legit. I mean, I want the absolute best for this league and to see that the community blossom to a point where it's you don't have that negative side of it that
Toxicity.
and I'm cool with that. There's always a place for that toxic community. There's been that page on we've had the toxic community page on Facebook for I don't even know how long. Cool.
Forever.
But the core of what us as a fan base and us as league racers are trying to do is to create a welcoming community, and that is the whole idea behind this podcast. That is the whole idea behind this league. We want obviously fast guys, but we want respectful guys. We want people that
We don't care how fast you are, as
love
long as you're
what they do.
as you're like
Yes.
nice and clean and all that. Like are willing to respect people. We don't care how fast
Absolutely.
you are.
But take it from the owner of this league. My opinion of the best league, it's a league that's there to have fun. They ain't necessarily there to beat everybody that's in the community, beat every league out there. It's the one that's there that has the most fun, that enjoys showing up each and every week and putting on a great race. That's the
Yes,
best
sir.
league, in my opinion.
Which,
Absolutely.
And that's
as
what
Party
makes us
said.
one of the best leagues.
Yeah, which
Yep.
Party you said when we were talking to you earlier, like there has been a lot of memorable battles you've had, like clean, like amazing battles you've had with everybody, really. Hell, even
Yes.
last night with Gator, you can say it was a hell of a battle. And
Yeah.
like we don't talk about Gator much, but like he deserves like all the credit he gets. Like he is very talented at like especially the plate tracks. Like that man he always finds a way to be there at the end.
He does.
But
and
he's
he's
always a push
found it
first.
here.
He's always a push first person though. He's never a like he doesn't like leading. He likes being the push guy.
Right.
So, which I think last night bit him in the ass, but I mean, same time it's like, you know, what are you
Well,
gonna do about
Gator,
it?
again, we're going to go back to last night. Gator's mess up was he tapped the brakes when he should have just let off the
Yeah.
gas.
Yeah, when he said that, I was like, Gator, what the hell are you doing, dog? Like, but you know, it is what it is. Still finished P2 better than any other playoff guys did. All of us fucking wrecked. So, nah, but they've had so many, like Gators improved so much over this year. Like, I remember I always busted his balls the entire year. About lapping him and all that, but at the end of the day, he knows it's all fun and games. He laughs about it now when I say it. He jokes around, like, "No, I'm just gonna put you in the wall next time" as a joke and all that. But nah, for real, this league is definitely like one of the best I've ever been in. Like, and I'm not comparing anything to PSCS. Obviously, I've been there since the beginning, and part of you know that. So I'm not biased at all about leagues. Because they're both very, very fucking good. I love them both equally. I've been there since from the start of both leagues. And the story between like the PSS thing, we started out the exact same way that CRL did. So
Okay,
that's what hit home more.
Then let me ask you this question.
Listening.
8 drivers from CRL and 8 drivers from PSCS. Who would win?
PSCS.
Biased.
You know why?
He said
Wait, no.
Look, it's a trick question.
Question.
It's a trick question.
Question no. Preset or customs?
Preset.
CRL.
Ooh,
Customs.
Biased.
yeah,
You're biased.
I just said CRL would win.
but that's still biased.
Biased.
it's-
Explain it to him.
Yeah, but basically it's the fact that like you said, but both leagues start in the same situation. It really would be the same situation regardless, preset or custom. I mean, you can't answer that with a simple just this or that. I guess is the best way I could put that, and I agree 100%. But I don't think that would be something that we would ever need to do, like
No.
with PSS or CRL. It would be fun to.
It wasn't a challenge. It was just
That would be
a
fun.
joke
No,
for
no, no.
heathen.
I agree 100%. No, I know what you're saying. No, but I'm just saying like that is the point of what's been nice about that. I mean, like it's never been with both leagues, it's never been no league call outs or any problem between the two leagues. Like it, and you know it. I think both leagues have prospered from all this, but it also hasn't been like that we're trying to combine the leagues or create any kind of partnership or anything like that either. It's just been, two leagues doing what they do, and there it is. And that's how I look at it. But yeah, I mean, it is interesting. I guess the question of all that, but I guess with any league, I guess you would have well, who would be faster here, who'd be faster there. But
Well,
still
I
is fun.
Flash, I
Still.
know we can pretty confidently say customs would be PSCS, presets would be
Well,
CRL.
I mean, PSCS is a custom league, so yeah. I mean, the same way as CRL is a preset league, so yeah, CRL would win that. I mean, but
Yeah.
that's just common sense. But
Yeah.
yes, I mean, I get your answer to that, but yeah. I mean, ultimately, but that's what makes it fun. That's what the positive side is what I'm saying, and I have been saying with the community lately, and with what we have with these two leagues that we talk about, and obviously the majority of the podcast obviously is CRL. But,
Yeah.
I mean, we still have that PSCS side that we talk about, obviously, but
That's why Party is fucking awesome. Because
Yes.
Flash, damn well if this was any other league, well, I can't say if it was any other league because I don't know a lot of the leagues. I haven't really raced in a lot of leagues, but I don't know any league owner that would allow this podcast, to obviously we're here to endorse, not really endorse, but give light to other leagues. But we talk about
Obviously.
PSCS every single episode, and Party could very well say fuck you and no, but he has the respect level because we both come from there, and he has the
Absolutely.
respect
And
for
well,
us
yes,
to
and
let us
that
do that
yes,
and not
absolutely.
bitch and moan about it. So Party, I want to thank you for that because you could very easily have said no,
Absolutely.
and
Very
Yeah,
well.
100%. And and I'm glad to see the feedback as well from the PSCS side, at least what Swab has tried to do, at least some, and doing that, and he continues to with that CRL sponsored car, which looks awesome, by the way.
that car is sexy as shit.
Over with the iRacing side, which well, that still blows apart any of our
Yeah, that
heat league that we have with PSCS because the iRacing side has just gone insane with anyone that's been involved in the iRacing side, any NASCAR involvement there, iRacing has just gone to another level. But that is still something that I'm more interested in than the heat side of it. But still, I hope the new game can get close to that level of engagement that iRacing is doing right now.
Look, hopefully one day we'll be able to go cross-platform like that too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
But we're gonna stop the sob stories now and not the sob stories, but get back to the scheduled programming and talk about picks for this week. Well, last week in NASCAR. Gosh, I don't even remember what the fuck happened last week in NASCAR. All I know is that I was right with my pick.
Yeah. That's one way to say it. Was that 2 weeks in a row for you?
That's 3. I was right. Oh, yeah, it would been 3 weeks in a row. I haven't gotten a cup race one though, right though. So.
Me either.
She picking fucking Logano. That's why.
Well, I didn't pick him for the Bristol Dirt Race, and he won.
Yeah, the one time you didn't pick him, he fucking won. Party, you actually, what happened last week in NASCAR? 'Cause I don't know, because I don't watch NASCAR like that. All I know is Larson got fucked over again.
Yeah, from what I can remember of it, Larson came down to a bunch of cautions at the end.
Pretty much checker.
And Larson didn't pit when he should have pitted, and Brad did. Came down to better tires, and not to mention Larson put himself in the wall.
Blaney put him in the wall.
Larson
very
was
much.
slushing Blaney.
Yes.
Yeah, and Blaney just
Larson
turned up in the
put
wall and
himself-
killed him. I'm kidding.
Blaine
Larson
turned
put
left.
himself in the wall.
Look, it's no one's fault. It's not Larson's fault, man.
And guess who won out of all that?
Who?
Kyle Busch.
Oh, fuck that. Oh, speaking of that race, though, our good buddy Apgoose actually named that race. He won the fan vote thingy and named it the
Yes, he
Bushy
did.
McBushy 500.
Yes. Yeah, that actually, we should have led with that. He did. He actually won that, and that name, the Bushy McBush Race 400, came from our local PSCS driver, Apgoose.
Well, former PSS driver. We miss
Former
him.
PSCS
We
driver,
missed
yeah.
him very dearly.
Well,
Goosey, we miss you.
PSCS chat
Yeah.
aficionado.
English.
And yeah, it went viral, and he won.
Uh-huh. He said he did it as
He
a
won the
joke,
votes.
by the way.
Yeah.
And he actually won. He's like, holy fuck, what the hell is this? He's like, I was not expecting to win. But yeah, it
Went
was
national. It went viral.
I'm saying it was rigged, by the way. You know why I'm saying that? You know why I'm saying it? Like, Larson got fucked out of it because it was rigged.
How is it rigged?
What was the name of the race?
I don't know, Apgoose.
Bushy McBush 500.
Yeah, but you know the M&M's car won, so I don't really get what
Yeah,
your
but
point
who
was.
is the driver of said car? Kyle Busch.
Oh, and the Bush car finished second.
Finished
too.
second. Yeah. So Bushy
Yeah.
won the race, and Bush finished second as a sponsor. Shit's acting up, man.
Well, you can blame Goose for that because he came up with the name, and then that name won. So,
Fuck you, Goose. No, I'm kidding.
what did he win for that? By the way, didn't he
I
get like
don't know.
lifetime tickets or some shit?
I don't fucking know.
I think he
All
got
I know is
something like that. I think
that-
it was.
I don't know. I don't keep up with people's life like that. I better keep up my own.
Ain't that the truth?
Xfinity. I forget who won Xfinity. I'm assuming it was somebody.
It wasn't an Xfinity race. Or
Truck race.
truck race. Yes.
Kyle Busch won.
Yes.
After we said, yeah, we're not gonna pick Kyle Busch in the race. Meanwhile, Kyle Busch wins. That's 6 in a row, by the way, for KBM.
I know they were talking about that after the race. I don't see that being stopped either.
I mean, it stopped tonight.
Well, yes, but we weren't going to talk about that because that's next week.
No, it's not. Oh. Well, but it already happened, so it is. I'm not picking it, even though I picked
Oh, are
Sheldon
you sure
Creed
you don't want
last
to pick
week.
like you did with John
Fine.
Hunter there that one
Fine.
week?
I'm picking Sheldon Creed for the truck race. There, you happy? I picked him last week, too.
I'm picking Logano for the truck race. Fuck you.
That's why he never wins a race. He got beat by fucking Kyle Larson in the Autism Speaks car, the 30 car back at Rockingham. Yeah, I didn't forget.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll go to picks now. 'Cause I know it's holy fuck. It's 4:30 in the fucking morning. Yes, we need to do picks now.
How do
No
you get
shit, right?
430 from 420?
Blaze it.
He's terrible at
I
math,
round
so-
up. I round up.
In 5 minutes it'll be 3, and then in 10 minutes from
Right.
It's already
it'll be
3
5.
o'clock.
Did you just say it's already 10 o'clock?
I feel sorry. You fucking passed the fuck out, my guy.
All right, so picks.
Trucks. No, I'm kidding.
I already did that.
Yeah. Party. Who do you pick for trucks? Oh, no one cares.
Trucks. Pretty much. We ruined trucks. Thank you. right,
Stanley, I need you to come in this bit. If you're even awake still.
Why?
I don't think he's awake. Cause I wanted to pick.
Okay, so Xfinity is what we're gonna pick.
Is Ty
Um,
Gibbs in the field?
Number 4.
Okay. Jesse Little. He's picking.
No. He's picking that for Cup.
No. Oh no. Cup or Xfinity? Cause that's Landon Castle in Xfinity.
We're on Xfinity.
Yeah, I know.
just say Cup for your 4th pick there, Quack. That'd be a good pick. And then pick another number for Xfinity.
For Cup, and is 12 a number for Xfinity?
12 number Cup.
Okay, so that's a no. It's a classic
Random. 1?
Yeah.
Yeah. One works for
Sexy
Xfinity.
paint scheme too.
All right, so that sounds good. 1 for Mike Lynette for Xfinity.
Party.
Ty
I need to see
Gibbs.
who's all. Is he in the field?
Yes, he is.
Oh, fuck you. I was gonna pick Ty Gibbs back off.
Starting 29.
It's hard not to pick Ty Gibbs though, because he's been so good.
Well, he already
Flash.
picked him, so you gotta pick something else.
I know. Flash, you pick.
God.
I mean, I already know who I'm picking though, because I pick every single fucking week.
No, I'm not picking Hemrick this week.
No, I'm picking you because I pick every freaking week.
Oh yeah, you can have him this week. Of course he'll win now that I don't pick him, but no, I'm gonna go with Gregson.
Fuck off! Fuck you! Stupid motherfucker. I'll go. I'm between Cindric and Allgaier. Since I can't pick Gregson because you just fucking picked me, fucking bitch. He does this shit on purpose, by the way. Really does.
Mhm.
It pisses me off. He knows I like to pick Gregson, and because he's actually a good driver, and it's like Flash is like, yeah, fuck you.
So who you
I'm
picking?
like,
Starting 5th.
Who, Gregson?
Mm-hmm.
Where's Cindric starting?
2nd.
The 22 is starting 2nd, so there's a lot of 2s in that.
Oh, I'm picking Allgaier then. Fuck that. Allgaier is the best paint scheme. He has the Taz car, doesn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, that car, the Tasmanian Devil number 7 car. I mean, it's not Tasmanian Devil, obviously, but it's the look to that car. That's my favorite paint scheme ever. Of Senior is the Taz car. Dark Horse. We'll let Stanley have the 4 for the Dark Horse because he said 4.
Okay.
Party. Dark Horse for Xfinity.
Let's see.
I'm going next. I'm gonna fuck over Flash.
Jed Burton.
He won like what 2 weeks ago?
Still a dark horse at Donington.
Yeah. See, I was gonna pick Daniel Hemrick as a piss Flash off, but I don't ever see him actually getting a win, honestly. So I'm gonna pick. What am I gonna pick? Haley Deegan. No, I'm kidding. She's not in this race. She actually finished top 15. I think she was top 15 before that. Before I checked before I raced, but the 20.
Harrison Burton.
Burton, yeah.
I'm gonna pick Myatt Snyder as mine. My
Fuck!
dark horse.
Forgot about him.
So that'll bring us over to Cup.
I don't want to Xfinity that much, so. Party, you get to go last. I know you're gonna pick Chase Elliott.
Actually, I wasn't.
Okay, then you can go first.
I was going to say, as much as I would love to see Chase win, I'm going to have to go with Larson.
Well, even better, because now I'm gonna pick Chase then, because you picked my driver.
And Stanley already picked the 4 of
He
Harvick.
picked Harvick.
Okay.
Okay. Good pick, Stanley.
I am going to go with oh, I might throw up in my mouth. Truex.
Bro, you did not just pick Truex as a Logano fan.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I did.
Hot kicker from the party.
No.
No, cause Alec, you want to go in the fucking sleep.
Hey, you ain't heard my dark horse pick yet. It's all right.
What, Logano?
You ain't heard my dark horse pick yet. It's all right.
I'm going Chase Elliott. Okay. What's your dark horse pick, Stanley? What number? Just throw any number out there.
Wait, did you say Chase Elliott was your dark horse? I thought you picked
No,
Chase
no.
Elliott.
He's my regular pick.
Oh, okay.
Is there a number cap?
99.
69.
There's no 69 car.
Fuck.
Try again.
Is there a
Random number.
52?
Huh?
Yep, Josh Bilicki.
You said 52. Oh, jeez. Rick Ware racing.
Yep, 37th starting spot, last in the field. There's your
He's
dark
gonna-
horse.
And he's gonna finish last in the field. No, actually, I forgot. Quinn Hoof's in the field, so he's gonna finish last.
Yeah, yeah. Josh Bilicki's got himself a 36th place finish in his future.
Yeah, pretty good, pretty solid.
Yeah.
Flash, dark horse.
That would be for me, Ross
Sorry, I'm
Chastain.
Chat. Okay. Party.
Matty D.
Yes.
You think he's gonna do good here though?
Yeah, he's been doing good. Starting good.
Okay. I'm going with someone that Mike will be very happy I picked. Okay.
Mhm.
He's won this race before. Go with Eric Jones.
Well, he won the next
500,
gen
yeah.
debut in iRacing. Yeah, so it's a fair pick.
I didn't even know that.
Mhm.
I just know he won the. He's always been strong in Darlington.
Yeah. He won in the STP car. Wednesday.
Granted, I didn't want to pick him. Who was I gonna pick?
Anthony Alfredo actually finished second to him, and he's
I know
actually
he did.
starting one spot in front of him. So that's
I
pretty
was
cool.
gonna pick Timmy Hill. I'm kidding. Timmy the Goat Hill.
I was
nah,
gonna pick
but,
Chad Fincham, so
He's the fucking goat, bro. That man is literally. If y'all know Heat, y'all know that that man is the goat in career mode.
in NASCAR
Or when-
E5, yes he is.
Or if you even run if you run like AIs and online, you know that he is a pretty good driver and pretty much an asshole because he wrecks every fucking time he gets near you. But
You didn't get that nickname for no reason, Chad fucking Fincham.
Chad fucking Finson. I forgot who I was actually gonna pick though. Oh, I was gonna pick the dude who threw back to his own paint scheme. You know who that is? The only driver that throw it to himself.
No.
Kurt McBushy.
Oh,
He threw back to his last win car, I think. It's the matte black monster
Technically,
car.
didn't Larson throw back to himself because it was his first go kart?
yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
yes,
talking
he did.
I'm talking about recent though. Kurt Busch is like that was his last year paint scheme. Just throw back to it. I think it was the Kentucky one honestly. I think it was.
I'm still wondering how Larson fit all those racial slurs on his paint scheme and nobody said nothing.
Can I kick him now?
No.
Why not? Flash, you're lucky the boss is here. You've been fucking booted a while ago. That's fucked up, man. He's done so much since that shit happened. So,
I still gonna mess with him though, and he's one of my top 5 favorite drivers. You know.
I mean, I'm still saying he's winning a championship in that 5 car. I don't know when, but whenever they fucking get off that wherever they
I
get the hell out of,
I agree with you, but
whenever the hell they got a Phoenix.
Next gen car, I don't know what's gonna happen with that. But
Well, I'm hoping that it gives like the shit teams. Like
I would say at the
actual-
level he's at right now, if we stayed the same car next year, he would win the title. But to go to next gen, that's gonna be different.
You never know. Do you think I was gonna say because they might there's possible they might delay, but they're not gonna delay it anymore. They're delayed it a year.
It's supposed to
He
be this
might
year.
he might win it this year though. You never know.
He's
He
still,
shows
yeah, he's
speed
still good,
everywhere.
for sure.
He's not had a weak track this year, which is the
Well, the thing is,
first
Logano's
time in
gonna
a
win
while.
this year, but sorry,
The fuck he's not.
it is.
Put your $1,000 you got in Dogecoin on a fucking bet, okay?
Well, yeah. What are you gonna bring up to bet? It ain't gonna be $1,000.
Well, I'm not betting Logano, you fuck.
I'm not asking you to. I'm saying, so if you're asking me to bring up $1,000 to bet, what are you betting on?
Larson.
Okay, so my
Oh,
1,000 versus your
no.
1,000.
Anybody but Logano, I'm putting money on.
Well, fuck that. I'll do that. I'll do that same bet. Jesus.
But
The odds
you
are
want
low.
Logano.
Okay.
Michael McDowell's win the championship, guys. You heard it here first. Michael McDowell's win the championship.
Hey, he's already got to win, so he's in the playoffs. It's possible.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Chief.
He's in the playoffs. I mean,
I know,
that's
but
guaranteed.
the way the NASCAR's going right now, there will be 16 winners.
Oh, so you're saying he's gonna get knocked out of the playoffs even with the win?
Yeah.
Possible.
I mean, where's he at in points right now, Pard? Do you know?
I do not know, but I can look.
Can you look real quick?
I can.
As we give shout outs to people. Flash, anybody you want to give a shout out to? Other than Party? 'Cause we're done.
Gary
We've sucked his dick too much. This podcast ready? Fuck you say?
Huh?
Fuck you say?
You didn't hear me?
No, I didn't actually.
I said Gary Busey.
Fuck off.
You said random people to give shout-outs to. I was like, all right.
No, like, people you want to give a shout out to. So, like, NASCAR,
Well, obviously, I would shout him out every podcast.
Sean, Dirty
Yeah, I
Birds,
did earlier.
Atlanta Racing.
How about our
Who else?
sponsor, Mr.
Yeah,
Storm Chaser
Alex.
there? Yes.
He actually got me running that league now too. You know that?
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you about that? You remember Dowdy, right? Ran PS for a while.
Mm-hmm.
7 car. I joined their Discord or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, this guy's fast as shit." He's like, "You better have at least 5 wins for the end of the year." I'm like, "The pressure, like, stop, bro." I'm not good with pressure. But
13th, Ethan.
oh, he's 13th, like in
Yeah.
overall points,
Yep.
like not playoff points at all.
The standings, he's 13th.
What the fuck? That's some bullshit. He might get in then, I guess. But obviously shout out to Stanley, Jaquad, all of them, Flash Party, shit. I'm missing people. I always do this. CRL. Everybody in CRL. Everyone in PSCS. Everyone who watches the podcast and deals with, our shit. Mainly my shit, because my voice is annoying as hell. Flash, anything you want to say?
Without you, the fans, there would not be a CRL podcast.
That one.
Exactly. That is exactly what I was about
Party
to
would
say
have
right
done
there.
canceled our asses weeks ago.
Yep,
Not
if it
gonna
wasn't
lie.
for you
Stanley,
fans that come out to hear me every week.
Stanley, what episode are we on right
do.
now?
He's already quit. He done packed up his shit. He's
he's
right
here. We're on. Wait, it's 11. I thought it was like 12 or 13.
Oh, wait, what are we on? Let me check. 12.
Okay, so.
We got 12-pack here.
Hell yeah, bro. We're ripped, my guy. Bro, I wish I had a 12-pack in real life, bro. Shit. I mean, that's not even possible. Shit. If I had one, it'd be over, Flash. I'd have all the... So... with that being said, thank you as always for coming out and listening to the CRL podcast. I've been your host, Ethan, alongside Three Flashes and Party as well, who was our guest tonight. As well as Stanley.
First returning
Always.
guest again. Gotta
Um,
reiterate that.
Always welcome on the podcast, Party. I mean, obviously.
Well, yeah, obviously.
He basically tells us, "Oh, I want to do the podcast." Us, well, Party. Maybe next week we'll talk to you again. Never know. If you're
Never
a
know.
champion, you'll be back
We'll see
on
if we
here.
can fit you in on our schedule, Party, at some
Look,
point.
Yeah.
wouldn't it be fitting if I was champion in all 3 series? You just have to have one guy.
And then we would have to have you back on at that point.
Yeah, but that's a 3-hour podcast just talking to you about. We just talked about that tonight.
Well, we're having our champions on the podcast regardless.
Next week. Yep.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
if they're
you gotta
available.
have your regular season champions too. So
Well, that's not possible anymore. Party.
one of them is.
He's on right now.
No, Party's not a regular season champion, dipshit. It was me and Cowboy.
I wasn't talking about Party.
That was me.
Yeah,
me
you
and
never
Party.
know what could happen.
Party. Any last words for pick for championships next week? Since the Final Four is all set
Pick
now.
for the championship.
Well,
What-
you
what?
can't talk. No, you can't.
How
You
about
can't
pick
think I
for the
forgot.
wins? The race
Okay.
wins.
Oh, we're doing that again. Okay.
Damn.
Okay, bet. Let's do it. You
do it.
got for Xfinity. I mean,
For
truck.
Xfinity.
Cup. Fuck. Cup. Cup's first.
Which one? Here,
Cup.
make up your mind.
Cup.
Cup.
I'm going Chevy,
Uh,
honestly. I feel like he's gonna bounce back and win.
Okay, you went Chevy. I'll go Jay Grant.
Hey, that. So you heard it here first. Party is picking Jagger for the championship.
No, for the win, the race win.
Hey, Party.
I understand he's in the Final Four. We're not
He
picking champion.
wins.
You've already picked the championship. Y'all had a podcast where you did championship predictions already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
For the
what,
race
what
win,
Party
then I am going
saying
to.
he's picking Jagger for the championship.
For
Clearly,
Cup, Phoenix.
Well, you've already picked Chevy.
I know. This is not a championship, though, is he?
I will. I'm gonna pick you, Party.
Of course.
Yeah.
You're sucking his dick.
Yeah, I was gonna pick Cowboy, and I was like, I already said Grant, like my prediction for the title. So I don't know, but I picked Party for the. win.
Truck Party.
And truck. Chevy.
Picking Chevy for the championship.
Yeah, remember I can't
No.
pick myself, so
I'm going Lagunge.
Oh, I'm going you then.
That's fine. You done fucked up, Ron.
Sorry.
I appreciate it, but you done fucked up.
Well, who'd you want me to pick?
Anybody but me. I'm not fucking good at asking. Do you want to win your pick or lose your pick?
I don't care.
Oh, okay, then I guess it'll work. If you don't want to care about losing or winning, but Xfinity.
Zach.
Man, I fucking hope so. Honest to God, I fucking hope so. He deserves it. Flash.
Y'all both picking Zach?
No.
I am going. Okay, so for race win, I'm actually gonna pick Drake.
A track he said he hates.
Yep.
Okay. Now, I'm not gonna say no about it, because you never know. You never know what's gonna happen.
So who you picking then?
I'm torn between Party and Lucas. Yeah, Sam, do that thing. Fuck it, I'll go party. Even though, you know, I want to pick Lucas really badly, but I don't think fucking Lucas is gonna be able to save as much as Party will be able to.
Hmm.
You know, Lucas has shown he's really fast at ISM, but you know, I haven't seen Party race at ISM, so really earlier
Alright.
he wasn't racing, so I'm gonna go with Party. Just because, you know, so you can't bitch at me for not ever picking him for a win.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that'll be it for episode
Number
12
12.
of the CRL podcast. Again, shout out to Jaquan, for letting us use his music. As always, links are all in the description of everybody's stuff. All the Twitch channels are all down there. The Dirty Birds' merch stuff's down there as well. I think should be. But if not, go back to last week's podcast and look at them. But as always, I've been your host Ethan, alongside Three Flashes and Party and Quack. And until next week for Championship Week, we are signing out at 4:44 a.m. on the East Coast. Have a nice Sunday morning or afternoon.
We're out.
Northeast Texas Storm Chasers is a small group made up of 5 chasers throughout the Northeast Texas region. We cover any and all severe weather events that affect their area, no matter if they are out in the field or behind a phone on the couch. You can guarantee that this group keep you and your family safe and prepared for all modes of severe weather. For more info and or questions, please visit their Facebook page, Northeast Texas Storm Changers, and be sure to click that like button. Thank you for supporting our podcast.
No, I swear I'm never alone. But I've been feeling lonely, lonely, lonely. I feel nobody knows me, knows me, knows me. I swear my heart is frozen, frozen, frozen. I swear God told me go.